Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. We are live. We're back at it again, folks. It's a Monday night, and we kick off another week in wrestling with WWE Raw tonight. Lots going on here. Lots to talk about. Lots to get into. So get in that chat. Click all the buttons. Like, share, subscribe. Be a part of the family. Be a part of all the shows, folks. We got lots coming your way. But until then, strap in, strap on. Grab your snacks. Grab your feel-good. And let's go. Ding, ding, ding. We are live and back at it again, folks. Like I said, we are the Wrestling for Life Network. This is another live stream, and we are back at it again with WWE Raw tonight. Again, 2 weeks removed from WrestleMania. What will happen? What will the Terrible Three have planned for everybody? What will Becky Lynch have to say? What will Logan Paul have to say? Lots to talk about, lots to get into, and apparently a breaking match as far as Stephanie Vaquer taking on Nile. Apparently he's being added to tonight. So we will see on a show that only had one match announced. So going into it, we will find out what the rest of the card looks like. Roxanne going to take on Rhea Ripley. And again, a lot to talk about. So get in that chat. Click all the buttons. I got 75 with us already. But me and that pretty face got you for the next few hours, folks, as we jump into all things wrestling. And we will be your live reaction to all the action. But I will take a second to remind you, I am Mr. Every Night, KJ White, the Iron Man of YouTube, and that is Big Nick.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Wrestling for Life Network proudly brings you its YouTube tag stream champions of the world, the Every Night Delight, KJ White. I am Big Nick, and I know we got the Dangerous Alliance on Monday Night Raw, but did you see on social media about the other Dangerous Alliance, the Terrible Twosome that's been popping up a little bit?
What does this mean? What is it about? Where are they going? Are they just doing a podcast together? What is the news? But yeah, they got a third. We don't know who it is. We know who they are. We don't know why they're here. But again, everywhere I looked this morning, that's all I saw.
Yes, for those who don't know, Hogan and Bischoff very much cut an NWO-style promo that they put out on Twitter, teasing a third man. I had actually not thought about it all, a podcast, until you just said that.
Yeah.
Because they're like taking over the wrestling world, and we're going to slice and dice and all that.
Yeah, I just can't imagine like they're coming back for a run anywhere. Like, we know they're not going to AEW for some work, unless MLW got a little bit of the Dixie Carter vibe in them. I can't imagine.
Am I the only one that thought maybe Vince? If Vince is going to do that whole entertainment company promotion that they had rumored about, you get right. Vince, Bischoff, and Hogan. That seems like a match made in terrible heaven.
Yeah, no shit. I mean, again, maybe Vince has decided to back Freddie Prinze Jr., who's been trying to get a wrestling program off the ground for a long time. But without a billionaire daddy, it's hard to do. Right. Yeah, again, I don't know what it means for Eric and Hogan. For those who haven't seen it, some old school NWO style vignettes going around. And they're back and better than ever. We don't know what it means. We don't know what it means or what's coming, but they've done a good job of creating buzz because it was everywhere.
Right. Well, speaking of creating buzz, we've got, like we mentioned, of the Dangerous Alliance. I don't know the terrible trio that they're calling them now, but do you think we see a new member added tonight?
I don't know officially. Like, again, I think they've done a really good job of a lot of these storylines. We think back to the Bloodline storyline. I don't think they're in a rush to do things. So do we instantly get someone tonight? Maybe not. Do they set up maybe a tag match for Backlash? Seth and Braun taking on Roman and Punk. Ooh. And maybe they slip in, a third member then. I think right now, as I sit here, I don't think there's anyone better to add to this crew than Becky Lynch. I think Becky Lynch is going to speak tonight. I think she has a heel turn, but we've seen her babyface. We've seen her heel. We've seen big-time Bex. We've seen the man. Bringing her into this is a different element for me, and I think it would actually help this current heel turn. Let her beat Bird Lady, take the belt. You got Seth in there. You got Braun in there. They could be a real big pain in the ass for a lot of people. I like the idea of Becky Lynch getting in this.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think a lot of people agree with that. And it makes sense. I mean, Christ, if you're going to keep kayfabe alive, if your hubby's a heel, you might as well be heel too.
Right.
Now, does she come back as like the heel man? That's weird to say. Or is she back to big time Bex? And she's kind of much like Seth of, you know, the flamboyant dress and everything like that. Because you do got to question where she's going to go as a heel if she's not with this. Like you said, that would really help her heel run. It gives her an instant kind of launching pad.
Yeah, it just kind of gives it a different element. Like, again, because we saw big time Bex. So if she shows up tonight in funky clothes and you know, that attitude of, you know, screw you, screw this, screw that, screw everybody, then again, I feel like we've seen it, we've been there. It's not really that new and exciting. But dig into that Becky Hogan, dig into that, and I think Paul Heyman might be the perfect guy to kind of push that narrative, push that. Yeah, she does get what she wants. She gets everything she wants, just like Seth, just like Braun Breaker is going to, because they deserve it. They've earned it. This is who they are. Deal with it. And I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I mean, I would be highly tempted to kind of to go that route.
Oh yeah, no, I think that works. If I said it before a while ago when this was even halfway teased or anything, because Seth keeps bringing up best for business and all of that, the old Triple H term and everything. So if they play that into it of Becky's, you know, best for business of, because I think down the road this goes into a Becky Bayley storyline. So if they start this of, well, it's better to have Becky on the WrestleMania card than Bayley. Poor old Bayley whining about not being on the card, and she's not viewed the same as Charlotte and Becky because she's not. Go into that whole angle with it.
Yeah.
And then you have literally, like we've talked about, you've got Seth that he views that he's doing right. He's protecting pro wrestling from cancers like CM Punk and guys that don't care about anybody but themselves like Roman Reigns. And Braun's the next guy in line. I think Heyman set himself up perfectly of when this does fall apart, Braun going at Seth and Heyman can align himself with Braun. Perfect. He set himself up for the next 10 years.
100%. And I mean, again, what I like about it is, you know, a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, Paul Heyman shows up on NXT, is in Braun Breaker's corner, tells Braun Breaker he's going to be the future. We think nothing of it. Like, it happened. We moved on. And now this happens, and you look back and go, oh, shit. Like, you know, here we are, long term, like really thinking about where this goes in the future.
Oh, absolutely. Well, like I said, I think Paul's setting himself up as a plan of he'll be managing for the next 10 years because Braun is the future. We all kind of knew it and it fits now too of a lot of guys want to have like the IC belt and everything. He's almost came off better from dropping it and he moves up in the story now. And now you could realistically see a Roman Reigns Braun Breaker match, main event at pay-per-view or something.
100%, Dick, if you keep going.
Fair enough. But should we say hi to the people? I'll start saying hi to the people while you recuperate there. The hydration and libations is getting to KJ there. But Zach, what up? Clay, what up? We got ourselves in the chat. Eric, what up? Hey, Wrestling for Life buddies. Can't wait for Mommy versus the Prodigy tonight and what's Paul's new family has to say. Well, we're already just talking about that, and I did see that allegedly we've talked about it. And again, I feel like, do they not watch the product? And now they're just reporting it of like, you know, allegedly Julia and Roxanne are going to be moved up to Monday Night Raw. Yeah, you kind of got that impression when they showed up on Monday Night Raw and getting involved with Rhea and Bloody Ripley, the top women in that division. Yeah,
there's certain dirt sheets out there, the ones in particular that are charging memberships or charging to see behind a paywall. And they do this thing. They did it with Braun Breaker, like of, you know, they did it with the AAA deal of the news comes out and then they report it like they've always known it. Click here, pay $14.99 to see more. Again, it's bad reporting. It's bad faith reporting. And it's not actually reporting. It is literally just regurgitating shit that you've already learned. We've seen it time and time again. You know, potential that, you know, this might happen and that happened. We're sitting here live watching it, been saying it for months. We saw it with War Games. Like people right now are freaking out that their War Games has been canceled because it wasn't on the poster. Like nobody officially said War Games is gone, but it's just these insiders, these the sappies of the world that just jump on dicks everywhere they can find them. And they can't help themselves. They just ride it out until it's done. And then they jump on the next one and ride that one out. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, it's not news. It's not, I talked to my sources. No, we saw it on TV, just like you. And you guess. They're just guessing. And I mean, again, why anybody pays to be a part of the Wrestling Observer or, fucking Fightful Select, it's a joke. No offense. If you're one of those people and you can hear my voice right now, save your money. You can be a member here for $3. You get cool emojis, and at least we're fun. And we'll tell you straight up when we're just guessing and full of shit.
Facts. I don't know how else to say that better than just facts.
Sorry, Sean, but I'm not sorry. It's true. You just ride everything.
Come on, ride the train. We're riding the comment train. Back at it like a jackrabbit. Saffet, what up? Joe, what up? Sir Simplistical saying, I'm a believer. I believe in Joe Hendry. Kevin, Absolutely. What up? Yeah, well, and still, I'm now thinking back on it I think I was too harsh towards Rebellion last night.
You were in a harsh mood.
I was in a harsh mood. I think I might have I graded with something else instead of my heart and everything in my mind. But yeah, no, it was a solid show from top to bottom, and seeing everybody like replay and show highlights from Leon Slater to Mike Santana to this to that. 100% fantastic show.
Yeah, I mean, again, a lot happened, and again, not everyone's gonna. What I love right now is this war that's brewing right now between TNA and AEW. Like, everyone's talking about AEW going to war with WWE, and the whole time they're staring at the WWE, TNA just walking up behind them. It's been funny, and now you're in a place where, like, AEW fans or faithfuls, the sickos, are throwing shade at Slammiversary sales. But here's AEW, and they're canceling shows and moving shows, and now TNA fans are putting up sales charts for their shows, and there's this like grind against each other of like who sucks more. And I mean, TNA is doing good things. The one thing I will say about TNA week to week, you might not like everything. Like I said, the Hardy compound thing's an acquired taste.
Yeah.
But they're telling stories. You're into Joe Hendry. You're into Moose in the system. You're into Leon Slater and what he's going to do. MASH is a great champion. They got cooler champions than AEW right now. And again, there's more of a fight, a realistic fight between TNA and AEW than AEW and WWE for sure.
Oh, yeah, 100%. If that's smaller army versus smaller army. But even you had Indy show up last night. And like the Mike Santana, Mustafa Ali story has been going on for months now at this point.
Yeah, it's a blood feud. We're loving it. Like, to me, match of the night, stole the show, was excellent. It was a one match. Like, if there was a match to talk about this morning, it was Mike Santana and Ali, like two guys that have been in companies, bigger companies, that are really trying to reestablish themselves as big names. And they keep having matches like this. They're going to end up back somewhere real quick.
Well, and Leon Slater made himself a goddamn star last night with the jump off an Ultimate X and everything. And then when he's down there and he's got it and make yourself famous, kid, he falls down and then gets speared out of his goddamn cleats by Moose, right. And Moose retains. Moose did the goddamn Otis treatment when Baron Corbin won Money in the Bank. Yeah. Just happened to catch it.
Right. Oh shit. But
look at this.
Yeah, and I mean, now you have an opportunity for a young guy like Leon to go after a vet like Moose, right? You can use Moose to put over Leon. Leon can chase that X Division title. The system's been the biggest heel faction for a year or so now in TNA. They've dominated 2025 in a lot of ways. I thought they were dead when Moose dropped the title, but he found his way to the X Division, and he still got gold, and they're still, running amok. So, yeah, I mean, again, I think the interesting times, and I mean, dude, I have to admit it. I know I just went on a bit of a tangent about the dirt sheets, but I got to give a shout out to somebody because we give credit where it's a due, Nick. And to me, Brian Alvarez going off again. This guy's becoming my mini hero. Like this man who I mean, I've made jokes about. I called him the Cabana Boy once upon a time. Mm-hmm. Now, I guess he's got to that point of I got to say something. And even a guy like Brian Alvarez, who's the right-hand man to the leader of the Sicko tribe, I mean, again, to watch him come out and say sensible shit and really fed up with this contingent, there's that pocket of sickos that everything's fine. Nothing ever needs to change. We shouldn't grow and evolve. Just keep doing the same thing over and over. We'll be fine. And even he said, it doesn't matter what business you're in. If you stay flat the same, eventually you die. That business cannot live on without creating new customers, without growing, without augmenting. And this idea that, no, everything's great, everything's always great, is killing that company. So enjoy it while it's here. But if something doesn't change, guys like Brian Alvarez, more and more Alvarezes are jumping ship. And I don't know what you're going to do. Well, how long before Dave really starts taking swings?
Well, help us grow, folks. Help us keep growing and adding new customers and new viewers and everything so we don't flatline and we'll be here for all the time and everything. Be a friend, tell a friend. Do you want to click through the chat or do you want me to keep going?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. I don't even know where we are. But
I got you. Andy, good evening, everyone. Ready for new members of the Dangerous Alliance. What up, what up? 316. He's going to be big mad because Rhea's taking on Roxanne.
Uh-oh. It's all
right. Here, you got this one. I'll leave you here.
What up, wrestling god? Yeet God. How you doing? How you doing, the god? AJ Big Nick, Wrestling for Life, Wrestling Fans United. I love it. Remember, use those hashtags on all your wrestling posts. I got tagged in a funny KO post today. Use that, use those hashtags when you do those cool posts, because we want to grow the WFU especially. I mean, we obviously want to grow the Wrestling for Life Network, but the WFU, the anti-IWC, we need to grow this. We're seeing people, like I said, Alvarez. We're seeing guys like O'Shea Jr. that are coming out, and they're like, man, that's a guy you could have had on AEW TV promoting AEW stuff, have him on AEW pre-shows, but y'all told him to fuck off, and now he's on TNA. So what can you do when you live in a shoe, I suppose? But yeah, I mean, for my money, use those hashtags. We appreciate it. Welcome back, Sir Odds. I see you, Sir Simplistical, shouting you out, Nick. I guess there was some conversation about the Discord.
Yes, I did drop the Discord. We're actually, I think, 3 or 4 away from 500 members in the Discord, by the way.
There you go. There you go. A few thousand spread out across social media, several thousand spread out here. I like it. I like it.
Right. We're taking over bit by bit.
Right. What's up, Bradley? How you doing? How you doing? That's us. Bradley, let's roll. Was up. Warrior Society Podcast 605. Good to see you, Zach. Good to see you. Bradley, got you. Let's go, Live and Dom. The only 2 people on that show. If we could just reduce all the other stuff. Damien, let's go. Ken, how are you doing? Daryl Keith Ford. I like it. Daryl Ford 05 or 051. Hey, how you doing? Scott Rizzo, always a pleasure. Former champion. How are you doing? And I guess, yeah, I can throw that graphic up. But there you go. New champ. Dun, dun, dun.
Right. But did you see what Scott called you? Well, he called you the horse whisperer, and now he's taken and calling me Mr. Wendy Chu.
Mr. Wendy Chu and the horse whisperer. I'll take that. I wish I had the ability, because then I wouldn't get myself in weird situations. Roll Tide, how you doing? Jerome, welcome back. Dun, dun, dun. Dale, the real champ, back again. OG Dale flexing. Let's go. Let's go. Dale actually squeaked it out. Last night was a fun one for the predictions title, Nick, just because it was kind of scattered. There was a lot of mix, like 5-3 or whatever the fuck it was, but like 5-3, 6-1. Like it was all over the place. Like there was some unpredictable. Anthony was like 0-7. It was awesome.
Well, that's the thing though too that makes TNA great, is that not every match you can clearly kind of tell okay, they're probably going here. They can just turn on a dime and it still is fantastic.
Yeah, we were legitimately concerned that Frankie Kazarian was going to win last night. Like legitimately, like it could have happened. Looking forward to seeing Rock CC Money. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Alex Johnson, how you doing? I read on social media today that the next week will be a big one for Liv Morgan. Okay, why?
Yeah, I think every week's a big week for Liv Morgan. She's really become like the star out of even the whole Judgment Day thing. She won out, I think, honestly, out of the Rhea and Liv feud.
Oh, yeah, she's skyrocketed. Her attitude works. She's over as hell. She's gorgeous. I mean, she blew up the internet just by wearing napkins to an event during Vegas week. Again, I mean, she brings everything to the table. She works on her craft. She is underrated in the ring. People don't want to give her credit, but they are. So, again, shout out to Liv.
Right.
MDB, the knee pad patrol on the loose. How you doing? How you doing? We did say Stephanie Vaquer. I feel like, again, I didn't confirm it, but last minute before we started here tonight, it looked like Stephanie will be taking on Ivy Nile, which is a little bit confusing.
Well, yeah, I had seen that going around all the Twitters and everything like that. But I mean, it's interesting how much Stephanie's the NXT Women's Champion. She's getting featured pretty heavily on Monday Night Raw. No disrespect, but maybe you got Monday Night Raw superstars you can worry about. Big her up on Tuesday. If she's not moving up, you don't need to big her up every week.
Yeah, but I think this is something they've done in the past. Like they did it with KO and such, where we see the current NXT champion kind of, it's almost part of their transition where they start making appearances on the main roster and then they'll lose their belt and then find a way into the main roster. So we'll see. It's starting to feel like Stephanie might get that hard push that we thought others might be getting.
Yeah, well, you just made Booker T shucky ducky quack quack talking about hard pushes.
Right, facts. Someone wake that man up. Byron, how you doing? How you doing? Liv Morgan is so another person who is reporting she's having a big week. She pregnant? What happened?
No, God.
Like what?
That would be a bad week because then she'd be off TV. It's all sourced from Liv Morgan herself.
Right. Big shout out to OG Dale getting some love. Like it. Let's go. Let's go. I did say her name. She appeared. Avengers, Raw, Infinity Wars. Yeah, again, this one's going to be really crazy where it all plays out. It's only the beginning of this story, and this will play right into WrestleMania 42, as Paul talked about. So I'm curious. I'm excited, and this is something new, and we all want to know, is there more members? How's it going to play out? What title does this, like, heel Seth go after Jey Uso? Is that how you play this? We'll find out.
Right. Well, did Paul Heyman and WWE do Don Callis better than Don Callis a bit? I know, granted, Heyman's kind of the OG of just, building the whole, like, family and the team and everything. Like, I care about this team. I want to see who's in here. I don't care about Trent Beretta's back in AEW.
Yeah, no, I mean, ultimately, this is the OG. This is why. Like, Don Callis is a knockoff of old school Paul, and Paul was just doing Paul things. And no offense, but as much as people want to talk, and sure, Roppongi Vice, they're fun. I mean, now you got like 8 members. They're becoming the fucking NWO, Don Callis family. Like, we're gonna get a break off. We're gonna get like the Callis Wolf Pack. It doesn't make any sense.
We had that. That was Ospreay, and he was trying to bring other people with him.
So it all depends on what you do with them. Like, are you advocating for them? Are you at ringside, not on commentary? And again, do your guys do shit? Like, Kyle Fletcher looks like a stud, but what's he doing? What's Kyle Fletcher's big story right now?
What's Takeshita's?
What?
I said, what's Takeshita's? Takeshita's to me, like the second big stud out of that whole group.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like we've been talking about Takeshita being the next big thing for 2 years, and he's still the same. Josh Alexander's now in that group. What are you going to do with him? Well, we've already seen him get rolled up. Like, where are we going with it? It's interesting. It's interesting. Hassan, welcome back. As we got about 2 minutes, folks. We're going to rapid fire and pick up the pace. We got so much to talk about here tonight. So again, like, share, subscribe, be a part of the family, be a part of the shows as we are absolutely cooking. J-Boy, welcome back. Sean Reed, good to see you. Let's go. I'm okay with new wrestling organizations, more wrestling. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't know if a Vince McMahon run organization will really go far, but we'll see. I mean, you'd assume that there'd be enough investors behind Hogan and Eric if they wanted to.
Well, then WWE have to cut ties with Real American Beer if he's behind technically their competitor. You don't want to be attached to anything Vince is doing.
They should be highly considering that decision anyway, but that's just my opinion. Paul Scott, how you doing? How you doing? Dennis, we got you. Once again, congratulations, Dale, Byron, Capone, Wrestling Warriors Society podcast. I believe we got you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Sean Reed already clicked it. Bonkers, how you doing? Cherokee, welcome back. Welcome back. We will talk about that a little more as we move forward. Dangerous Alliance had Medusa and WCW. Becky would be a good fit. Yeah, I like that idea. I really do. I think it helps Becky. Could Drew fit in that group? I think. Do you feel like Drew's kind of on his own? Like, he's too big to be another guy in a mix, but he would help. Like, he wouldn't hurt.
But he's a SmackDown guy. If we're gonna keep this loyalty, if we're gonna do this draft thing, Drew's a SmackDown guy. We ain't crossing promotions, we ain't crossing streams here. Right. And again, Drew in that almost outshines Seth, I feel, because he's a better promo than Seth.
Right. Yeah, I mean, in a lot of ways. But Mr. Noob, how you doing? Seth's a really good promo, man.
Oh, I know. No, I'm not saying that as a discredit to Seth. Of that's like
Yeah.
two Titans. That's like 1A, 1B
Yeah.
type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, again, I just don't know if, like, I mean, there's a lot of guys. I mean, fuck, Damian Priest might be a better fit to move into a group and just be the big heavy of the couple guys than
Judgment
Drew.
Day?
Well, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't put him back in. I'm just saying, for example.
Right. He just came from that.
He's in there. Paul, how you doing? How you doing? A lot of people want Austin Theory. A lot of people have talked about Theory. Do you bring in Theory and Waller, and then that's your bona fide tag team that now you have an advocate that could get you to the top of the tag team division?
I feel you slightly get almost too many members already just because it's Waller and Theory, and that's just, I know it's only 4, but they're insufferable at times. As I got a then flew by.
I got then.
I'm at a now.
I'm a now. Half a second.
Yeah. No, well, you mentioned it a while ago. Forever. There we go. But you mentioned Jeff Cobb. And I think that would be a great fit.
Yeah, as a surprise.
Right. Together.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can sync up with us. We will continue to click through the chat. We got lots coming your way, lots of action. How will this one start off tonight as we are live from the T-Mobile Center?
Right. Yeah, and especially now you've got Seth, who's insulated himself with 2 monsters in Jeff Cobb and Braun Breaker.
And I don't mind Jeff Cobb kind of coming in as the unknown, right? Like, and you give him kind of instant credibility with this group, right? So not every, like, you already have your established champion, you have your up-and-comer, and then you have the new guy. I mean, it works. I can see it.
Right. I got the Snickers and the TKO logo sign thing in front of the T-Mobile. As I got Aldis. Aldis is doing, he's substitute GMing tonight.
Yeah, subbing tonight. You're gonna have a rough one. You know, a substitute never has a good day. So
just wheel out the TV and put on Bill Nye the Science Guy or Magic School Bus and call it a day.
Absolutely. What's up, Philip? How you doing? Meltzer, what Meltzer don't realize TNA kicked ass last night. Meltzer will never realize it. And I doubt Meltzer watches it, to be honest. And again, actually, Meltzer, it was funny because Meltzer went on a bit of a tangent about AEW being uncool, but kind of still like protected AEW. So the premise was he talked to a lot of people around Vegas over the last few days. And when he asked about AEW, the sentiment is AEW is not cool. Like, WWE's cool. They got stars that are cool. And a lot of people feel like AEW's not cool. It is the niche of the niche for the sickos, for the neckbeards, for the basement dwellers, for the mouth breathers, for the, the girl-less, boy-less, whatever-less. That's what it feels like. And a lot of people give that sentiment. But then he added, but it's not the booking. No, it is the booking. It's the booking. It's the production. It's pushing guys that are kids that look like wimpy little kids. It doesn't feel cool. So that was Dave Meltzer's words, not mine.
Well, it's the death mask spots, it's the syringes, it's everything. And I was going to follow a say of like, and other news, water is wet. Because like saying AW is not cool, that's kind of a no shit Sherlock.
Yeah, but I mean, is he wavering on his Delulis a little bit?
Well, no, he's got to walk that line. He's got to, for every time that I get too close to being just, it seems like I'm on the payroll, I'm out there just being the marketing team for AEW, I got to throw a jab and say something negative towards the direction.
Yeah, and I mean, I know people were mad about Travis Scott, but the WWE had Travis Scott and Jelly Roll and Fluffy and this one and that one, and they have like Action Bronson and Rick Ross, and it's not.
Well, they only have them like one time,
right? It's still not the same vibe, the same feel. It feels uncool, and I think the leaders of the uncool tribe are the Young Bucks. They're horribly uncool.
Oh, as I'm getting a replay of WrestleMania, which, by the way, we do have Pat back on commentary, and we can talk about the Gunther thing.
The audience tonight.
Yeah, but we can talk about the whole Gunther thing because we figured out why he's been suspended. And no shit, Sherlock. He asked for time off, and you give him a break and refresh the character. But yeah, did you see Nicholas Jackson's the whitest, Caucasianest, gritty of all time? This man looked like he was having convulsions or something.
I want to see Nicholas Jackson versus Michael Cole in a dance-off first and foremost. People that use the gif of Elaine Bennis out there dancing from Seinfeld, like Like that's exactly what it was. It was so bad. Again, the epitome of uncool. They think they're like these heels, but look at this. Like, look what we got on our screen right now. And I hate playing the comparable game, but there's Braun, who's a fucking beast. A guy that you wouldn't want to cross. A guy that if you bumped into, you know you're in for something. Seth is a troublemaker. A little eccentric, but he's established himself. And then you got like the Bucks, who are all the same, Seth's age, my age, and you wouldn't hang around with these guys. Like, you are big fucking children that act like losers.
Right. God damn, just seeing the replay of Braun spearing Roman, like that's a match now I wouldn't have thought about, but I could see now on a night 1 or a night 2 of a SummerSlam now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. And I mean, if I was a babyface champion, Jey Uso, I would be very nervous about watching a heel faction of this magnitude get put together.
Yeah, this is an arms race right now. Right. And if they just happen to point their target in your direction, you're kind of screwed.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, according to PW Insider, Liv Morgan is going to have a big Raw next week. Okay, so several people, I get PW Insider. Again, maybe she wins the IC title. I don't know, but we are opening with Seth freaking Rollins.
And what defines a big week? Like, if I find $1 on the corner and I'm able to stick it in my pocket before it blows away, can I call that a big week? I'm $1 richer.
Yeah. These journalists have no ethics, honesty, or and it's bothersome. Easy for me to say. I developed the Cody there. Bothersome.
Mike Tyson out there.
Right. I think what hurts more for me is accountability. And again, like what Nick and I do here with Anthony on a regular is we give you our 2 cents. We give you educated guesses based on what we see, but we don't tell you like it's a report. Like, sources have told us that Seth and Braun Breaker are going to be in the same faction. Like, no fucking shit. Again, I think it's the lack of accountability. And I think there's a sad part of the fan base that still goes to it. But I think more and more people need to unsubscribe, unfollow, and send a loud message of, we're not listening to your shit. You are ruining wrestling. Even if you give me a spoiler, I don't want to know the spoiler. I'll find out when it happens. I think more people need to boycott this kind of shit. I think the fact that anybody pays for the Observer, I mean, I would check their IQ level.
Oh, no, don't go insulting the people right there.
Find me a smart person that's currently following the Observer. Find me somebody with a PhD or a high school fucking diploma that is actually listening to Dave Meltzer.
That's a wide scale there. PhD, GED, ABC, Lakers at 5.
Is anybody here listening to me right now following, like paying to follow the Observer?
I'm going to go make an account just so I can just debunk you.
I have Pat and Cole. Right now, we got Braun. We got Seth. Seth's got a big jacket. Paul's got a big smile.
Yo, those sunglasses. They got eyes and eyes, my guy.
I am the Oracle. I am the visionary.
This man's out here wearing Cleopatra's rug as a goddamn suit.
And they're still singing that.
And it's built like a dress, by the way. It's built like a goddamn dress.
It really is. Looking dapper. Mammy, let's go.
How do you feel? And Spaz, God bless you. I see your super chat. We'll get there.
We're getting to it.
But how do you feel? We talked about this with Jericho of Seth's technically a heel right now, but he's got the singy song of "We're Out Here." Oh, oh. It's a little Judas in my mind when Jericho was supposed to be a heel. Do you lose the sing song?
Right. Well, I mean, again, if you want to punch home the idea that you're the visionary, big eyeballs on your glasses or start.
Right? It's hard. Like, I don't. Do I look? Do I look there? Do I look there?
I want to know how much he paid to get Tony Khan's eyes on those glasses.
I don't know. They're fucking low flying. Those might just be his actual eyes. He's just on that good smoke pack.
Unless you live in case you live under a rock, you're looking at the winner of the main event of WrestleMania.
It's crazy, though. You're supposed to hate this man, and he gets cheered.
Yeah, they love singing the song. I mean, he might have to change that song.
But it's almost like with the Drew effect of like he's not wrong. Like he's just the cool heel. Wrestling fans like heels now.
A lot of ways. And I mean, we look at it, we're like, they might be turning heel. They might be like, everyone's fucking turning heel. Like Bianca, Naomi, Seth, Braun.
Sammy, don't do it. Sammy, don't do it. My heart can't take it.
Spaz, thank you. So, respect to Nick. Shout out to Nick. Cheers, KJ and my fellow mother Canuckers. Happy election day. Let's all be nice to each other and crank some great Big C before the night is over. A legendary band in Canada. Fun times. Again, yeah, a historic day in my country. We don't talk about it here. I just hope my country gets it right. And again, be nice to anybody. I don't give a fuck who's running our country. I don't care about your president. I don't care about my prime minister. Let's just treat each other like we matter. Treat each other like we care. Treat each other with some respect and love. And the world will be a lot better place no matter who's running the fucking show.
And we're running the fucking show, but we still try. This is where we laid out our arms, folks. Whether you're a WWE diehard, an AEW diehard, you're right, left, red, blue, up, down, yellow, green, what have you. You lay your arms down here and we just have a talk about wrestling and we enjoy some goddamn good wrestling. And if the wrestling sucks, we never do. So there you go. Breaker to my right.
But see, they bark for Breaker like it's crazy.
Oh, Braun Breaker's over his shit. Even with this, in this, out this. But this feels very, to an extent, it's the same kind of message of I am a victim.
Sammy's here.
Oh no, Sammy! I speed in fruition. Don't break my heart. Don't break my Sami Zayn heart.
Oh, all right. Sammy's had issue with both these men, folks. Theater, how are you? Spaz, again, thank you for the super chat. Remember, folks, that's your way to guarantee we click on your message. Christopher, I'm going to bang out some names just because. But Kevin, Sunman Moon, I like that one. Welcome, I believe. Joe Hendry, making us all believers. Anthony's in the house. How you doing? Evening. I want Lyra. I want my Lyra. Well, it's a little possessive. Kevin, how are you? Damien, welcome. Kenny Omega. Yeah, they're doing another All-Star. Basically, it's the PWG All-Star Classic on Wednesday.
It is just, let's take all of our big baby faces and put them all over our mid heels and see who wins.
Yeah, it's crazy. Let's go.
This is really interesting because I know last week we just had that fear. If Sammy turns, is it too many turns too quickly?
No, because I think he's been it's been a long run as people loving him.
Wait, how can you hate Sammy?
Well, ask MDB.
Well, 1, 2, 3. He has peculiar taste. This man still likes, can Wendy Chew and everything. So
let's go. Bonkers is in the house. Larry's in the house. Got you. Don has 7 members in his group. Does that include the ones that are currently in? Do you count Brian Cage?
Yeah, does the Murder Hawk count?
Right. Already late for Thursday night TNA edition with you, Big Nick and Ringsider Anthony. Already for
how late on a Monday for Thursday?
Right,
guy. Are you time traveling? Do you have a secret we don't know about? If you do, share it.
KJ and Nick, what is your take on ticket prices for SummerSlam this year? They're going to sell out. That's what my take is. And they're expensive.
Supply and demand. If you won't pay it, they won't sell it at that.
Stop paying.
People speak with your wallet. That's really the end of the day. You speak with your wallet. It sucks, but you speak with your wallet.
The bad news is you get a lot of people who aren't the diehard core audience in the building that can afford to go, and they are that crowd that isn't cheering. They're hoity-toity, right? If you have 10 grand to drop on a couple front row tickets to SummerSlam, you're probably not the type that's fucking jumping up and down, losing your mind and spilling your beer.
Sorry, I'm just trying to catch Sammy here. I am not Punk. I'm not Roman Reigns.
This chat is blowing up. Keep it coming. Willard, Odds, Andrew. I'm glad Sammy interrupted Seth. I'm okay with this. I'm curious. Nick, you don't have room to talk. You like Eddie Kingston.
You shut your whore mouth.
Is Eddie coming back?
I don't know. I feel bad. Like I miss Eddie, but I know the second he comes back, yeah, everyone's just gonna shit on him. And like, does he come back? Like, where does he come back? You bring him in to make sense of Moxley?
Maybe.
No.
What is this? It's not a coincidence. This good promo. This goes back and forth. Your little dog.
Yo! By the way, if he keeps looking at me like that, he's goddamn. Yo! He's going at. He's pointing out. He's going at Braun like how I can't remember who it was that went at Solo. I know it was Cody that went at Solo.
Right? Paul Heyman just kills me.
Rubbing his small of his back.
Down, boy. Down, boy. Or you're against us. The dialogue between these two is just fucking perfect. It's not taking turns talking. It's two guys arguing.
Yeah, it's us. It's because it feels genuine and everything. It's an actual conversation versus like line.
Seth looks like he's about to lead worship. He's the Messiah, the Monday Night Messiah.
That's what I was trying to say before Sammy so rudely interrupted me. Of that, it does have at least a little tinge of that. I am, the visionary. I am the Monday Night Messiah kind of vibe of I know what's best for all of you. You're too stupid to know what's the best for you. So I'm going to help you.
Now, I like this. I mean, again, I agree, Richard. Sammy did say this, but that's the premise. Is Seth Rollins a hypocrite? Because now he's a part of everything he hated.
It's not a threat, Sammy.
Michael, I see your question about Indy. Ask it again.
It's an offer.
Yeah, come join us. But
it's a favor. It's a favor. That's going to be the thing now. It's a favor.
It's a favor. Michael, thank you. Alan, good to see you. Theater, got you. MDB, let's go. Wrestling Proud, I think. Yeah, there you are. Wrestling Proud, TJ.
Love it. Clicked on MDB shouting out the Wrestling Proud, but yes.
Yes, well, at least we know he's here.
Fair enough.
There he is. Let's go. Shona MDB. Some bro love.
It's guy love. It's Braun and Sam.
It's okay. It's okay. Now is not the time.
Yo, who is more tan?
Yeah,
Braun or Heyman? They both. I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts standing around.
Braun is very fucking orange. Braun might be oranger than Sammy's beard.
He's on that MJF spray tan package.
No, he getting those those fucking he in those booths getting all the UV.
Right.
Indy Hartwell in TNA, I think it's a great fit for her.
Yeah, well, and did you see the sappiest of saps that you were talking about before that instantly? This was one of the international signings that I was talking about that I didn't name before and everything. Yeah, sure. What would you even call any international signing? Like just because she's from another country doesn't make it fully international,
right? Yeah, again, another perfect example of like, we're hearing things. You knew what they told us.
You're hearing what I saw. Thank you.
The promo between Sammy and Rollins right now is awesome. It cooked. I like that a lot. And it didn't go too long. As now we are getting a replay from last week. Julia Roxanne team up to put a beating on Io and Stephanie.
What I like though with that whole segment of now you just leave it with it's not a threat, Sammy. It's just an offer. It's just a favor, my guy.
Yeah. And again, like I said about Paul Heyman and Seth, it's this really interesting favor of the favor is I don't kill you. Like I don't take it out on you. I don't come after you. It is a favor that I leave you alone.
Right. Well, as they're getting the decibel counter again, Xfinity now, where they're doing this now for everything, I guess. His mom is coming out at a 105 here.
Right? That's awesome. So they found another way to get money. Oh, there goes the Fed again, making money like a business.
Well, they also point out how WrestleMania 40 only had the Prime logo, and that was a big deal. WrestleMania 41, fucking UFC octagon canvas of advertising.
Do you know the indie scum are really driving me nuts because they're bitching about this whole sponsorship, and then you turn on New Japan and fucking logos everywhere. But that's okay. We didn't notice.
Because we didn't start there. We didn't start with a clean mat. If you start at bullshit and stay at bullshit, it's all bullshit.
That core underbelly of wrestling is really running out of things. And I feel like they're outnumbered, like they're circled, they're surrounded, and they're taking shots. And every couple days, another one jumps off the bridge and another one jumps off. Again, like CM Punk, that whole situation split them in half. And a bunch of people followed Punk back to the dub. And now you kind of go through this. We're in this weird time of it's like you guys against the world, but your hate, your venom, your general negative piss poor attitude about everything, it's just making people not want to hang around with y'all. It sucks.
But y'all want to hang around with us, right? Because we don't have piss poor.
Let's go. Heyman rubbing Breaker's back. That's amazing. Down, boy, down. Breathe. It's okay. Woosah.
Well, and I do really like going back from that. And don't you dare talk bad about my New Japan. But no, it's very logo heavy. But and video game time.
I don't have a problem with it.
No. I'm not just saying. I'm moving on. Moving on.
Yeah.
I do like that Sammy pretty much pointed out a thing that a lot of people are now going to probably say, oh, I was saying this all along, that didn't really notice of how much of what Seth has become is everything he was opposed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's great. I think pointing out the hypocrisy of Seth Rollins. For anybody who wants to know, Rhea Ripley is in the ring right now, getting ready for her matchup. I did put a poll up. But yeah, Seth has essentially, and then Sammy pointed out, like you said, become what he fought against. Now you have the advocate. Now you're going to try and run things. Now you got your little guard dog that I'm going to smack the taste out of his mouth any second now. I love that from Sammy. That was great for Sammy. That was great for Seth. I mean, this is great all around.
Oh, does Sammy become the first lamb fed to the machine? Yeah, I feel like it's going to be that of he's the voice of reason. He's the consciousness of WWE, and he's going to be the first one that just gets torn apart in this. He's going to be made an example of.
Roxanne Perez coming out to the ring, by the way. She's getting the commercial entrance. I think they're moving her up to the main roster, and I know a lot of people have speculated. To this moment, we do not officially know what happened with the Roxy push, but she's here and she's about to eat a job. So let's
does she?
I think she eats one. I think Rhea smashes her.
Julia.
Again, that might be a nice little surprise. My expectation is smash, but we might get crash instead.
Fair enough. Well, I've said for the longest goddamn time, and we've argued about shoulda, woulda, couldas, if, whens, wheres, and hows, and everything with Roxanne being on the main roster. I'm glad she's here. If she takes a fucking L, fine. At least stay here. At least don't send her, let her keep her bags here for the night.
Yeah. I don't fully get it, Nick. I really don't. I wish I had more intel. But all I can say is, I mean, I heard rumors that she got herself in some hot water, and then her booking kind of made it look like, maybe they did.
Yeah, it coincided.
Yeah, I was kind of like, well, if she didn't get in trouble, they're just really fucking this up. So you guys decide.
I'll go with that one versus that she got herself in trouble, respectfully.
Big mommy chance breakout. Let's go. Who you taking, folks? As always, we take a prediction on every single match. We take a rating out of 10 at the end of the night. And then we'll ask you to give a grade on our post section as well. So lots going on. I like the move to SmackDown vibe. Context is King Theater. What do you got?
Yeah.
Who do you think will challenge Io Sky WWE? Well, I don't know. I mean, I think they're setting up Rhea Io at Backlash. Maybe.
Maybe, but she's got to deal with this right now. Is Roxanne with the chop block?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the thing is I don't know if do we actually not have Io on the Backlash card? Because I don't know if there's quick enough turnaround to make a valid case for a challenger that's worthy of a pay-per-view match. Respectfully.
That takes a week. I mean, really, they'll quick turn that if they want to. I don't know that's the case, and I just felt like, especially with last week's match kind of getting broken up, does Rhea get pushed? I mean, again, Rhea would make sense as
do Becky versus Io? Do Becky versus Io?
Depending on how Becky talks tonight, we'll see. But Becky's tied to Bird Lady. She just beat up Bird Lady. She's going to get that IC belt first.
Fair.
Cash out. Johnny, kidding my dog Brownie, who I am. Have my whole life. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I really am. That's T's and P's to Brownie. Oh, super sad. What's up? Shout out. Braun in the future, though Seth isn't lying. No, again, and no, it's great for Braun Breaker, Nick. He's getting over by just standing there. All you got to do is be present.
Oh.
Well,
Rhea just caught Roxanne like a present off that tope.
Yeah,
and delivers her like a present to the barricade.
Right. Rhea 61%, Roxy 5%, and nobody getting a whopping 34%.
Yeah, well, hey, I'm all right. All right.
A lot of people going nobody.
Well, I thought it was funny that last night people were like, was it last night that people were like bothered, or was it SmackDown that people were bothered by like not having nobody as an option?
It's funny because every once in a while I don't throw it in, especially if it's like a triple threat match or a match where it's unlikely that you get a schmoz. But I try and consistently include it. I know my buddy Mr. Noob out there is like, make it make sense, KJ. But I mean, at the end of the day, there are matches that get thrown out. There's, the match doesn't happen, or both people getting a schmoz. So nobody is a possibility. Right. I think the argument against it is even when somebody jumps somebody, then the other person wins by DQ. But to me, it's a nobody win.
Yeah, so it's as close to a non-result as without it being a non-result.
Right. And it all depends. Sometimes it is no winner. Sometimes it is so-and-so wins by DQ. It all depends on how it all plays out.
Yeah, especially if Dark State gets involved.
Roxanne Perez, total hottie. Spark plug. Let's be real.
Well, I liked MDB calling her Disney Princess Eyes. Well, that spark plug got turned off, but MDB called her Disney Princess Eyes.
Yeah, it's true, though. The Monday Messiah is back. It feels that way. It definitely does. Yes, Nick, as he should.
Sure. Absolutely.
Roxanne's, again, no contest. Julia getting involved. I agree. I got nobody. A lot of people going nobody.
Yo. Rhea just strong-armed just naturally Roxanne from like power slamming kind of position, crossbody straight up into a suplex and dumped her ass.
Yeah, I like again, you get to play that, you get to see that powerhouse versus the smaller athlete and be treated as such. Roxanne shouldn't be like dominating her for 20 minutes and then Rhea hits a riptide and it's over. The little one's having trouble with this big lady who's fucking her shit up right now.
Well, that's why she's chop blocking. That's why she's running, Rhea's knee into the ring post. And we go to, or at least I go to commercial and Rhea's selling the knee. If you got to chop this giant woman down.
Mm-hmm. Perez on the outside trying to beat the count. Rhea going out to meet her. 5-star match. I think you misspoke. I think it's 5-starch match because it's stiff as shit. One way or the other, a 5-starch match.
You got you on the back end.
Disney Princess Eyes for the win. Rhea Ripley for the win. Sammy moving to SmackDown so we don't get steamrolled by Braun Breaker. Again, nothing official has been announced by the draft. And how will the draft impact any of the current storylines?
Well, that also feels kind of weird. Like, has WWE officially, if I can remember, have they officially said anything about the draft, or has it been just Twitter?
I think what happened was somebody, and it might have been Trips, made mention to an upcoming draft with just like a vague kind of statement, and then it ran like wildfire. But I have not heard anything official from WWE.
Yeah, well, because I thought too that we were going to get. Remember the dirt sheets, by the way. And again, we're holding people accountable because I can go and find receipts of how we were going to get Evolution 2.0 was supposed to be announced around WrestleMania week and everything, and
Never happened.
it was imminently waiting to be announced, allegedly,
Yep.
and we still don't know if that's the case. I would love to see it, but again, people throw shit at the wall and hope it sticks.
Yeah, I mean, if I say 10 outlandish things and I get one right, does it make me a fucking genius?
I don't know. It depends on what country you're in, I guess.
I just don't know why you'd bring them out tonight and have Seth do anything else except cut a demeanor changing promo. The answer, the why for why he wants to run WWE with Paul, odd segment. I think he fully explained. I don't think it was an odd segment at all, ABJ. Did it just go over your head? Did you miss it?
He was cutting the promo you wanted him to cut, and then he was interrupted by Sami Zayn, and then the whole segment now pivots because now we're having a conversation, and Sami points out of the hypocrisy of Seth, and then that pivots the entire narrative. So again, we've still not gotten a full answer about their true connection, their true reasoning for all forming together, but that's because they were interrupted. It's not because they just decided not to do it.
Yeah, again, and I think part of the narrative, and they are using things like social media and interviews to kind of push it, but the idea that this is a business arrangement. Seth isn't viewing this as that loyal wise man relationship or the love relationship between Punk and Heyman. This is a best for business decision, which is, again, a funny term that keeps getting kicked around.
I'm still telling you, and I want 10% royalties at least when they end up using it as the faction name, but it's best for business. It makes sense. And that's their whole, like you were even saying, it's not, I love you, my tribal chief, to Seth. It's not, you're my best friend, to Seth, like he was with Punk. Braun's there because he's a goddamn hired gun of, hey, kid, you want to be on the big time? You want to be on the biggest stage of them all? I got the way to get you in there.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you. It's just cake is my weakness, and then what about ice cream? And then
I was gonna say, I was like, you're chuckling at the chat over getting ice cream cake and everything. So meanwhile, I'm out here talking to point, and you're just chuckling at me.
Gentlemen, if you don't eat cake, you better start.
Fuck, yeah, I can't deny that, but yeah, I mean, you boo boo.
And as 50 said, I love it like a fat kid love cake. I think the draft will be in June when SmackDown goes back to 2 hours. They usually have the draft picks to coincide with the length of the show. That is a very good factor, Scott. Yeah. Because technically, by this standard, for the first time ever, SmackDown would get more picks than Raw, because Raw generally was the longer show.
Right. As Rhea pulls out into a big high kick, setting her up for a powerbomb after she was going back and forth with like the ripcord elbow or the clotheslines. Oh my God. Shout out Priest. She's hitting a razor's edge on Roxanne. Baseball slide dropkick.
Followed by,
through.
Wow.
And it was going for the pin while grabbing her knee, though, too, by the way.
Which gives an out of why Roxanne could kick out. What up, Boston? How you doing? Speaking of cake eaters, let's go.
Whoa.
What up? It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Nothing but love. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, but now the entire chat has moved to cake and ice cream. You can't do that with 2 vitamin fat kids. We're just gonna be out here hungry as shit now for 2 hours.
Man, gnarly bump. Roxanne got folded on that razor's edge, chucked, if you will.
Tossed like a goddamn lawn dart.
Butterfinger Oreo Blizzard. Okay.
Hey, Julia.
I like this. Is like, and again, where people were talking about her being injured, or Stephanie Vaquer stole her spot. Maybe the WWE said, Julia's ready. We're good to go. Move her up.
Yeah, well, I think that's been kind of the issue. Small package,
No way.
1, 2,
No way.
yo, and then instantly can
A hurricane run at DDP.
do it.
Back called it.
That's a
handstand
unnecessarily
knee
aggressive back handspring knee. Two count. I would have just locked in the fucking crossface then. You already had her. You did the transition and had her in that position. I thought that's where they were going.
Mm-hmm. Call the match, dude. I don't know who you're directing that at.
Probably us.
Tough titty. Ice cream cake only valid until it melts. Every year on my birthday, I get an ice cream cake.
No, because there's ice cream cake, ice cream, and it's fucking amazing.
This match is fun. A great match right now is Roxy. I think we got. Oh no, not Rhea limping away.
Yeah, but Julia just was giving her the crazy eyes, and that's what drew Rhea over.
Oh, Rhea headbutted her from the knees. From the knees.
That's the height difference. Julia. So technically, Rhea wins.
And
but
Julia getting booed. The beautiful madness.
But so Roxanne and Julia very clearly paired together. She's dumped Cora Jade, and now we're on to Julia.
Io Sky.
That's your match at Backlash, tag match. Rhea and Io versus Roxanne and Julia.
Yeah, I could see it happening. I just want Julia and Io. Let's go.
Fair enough. I mean, just go watch Stardom. But
stop. Look, over as fuck. Anybody want to know why Belair was getting booed? It's because everybody loves this lady.
I'm not denying Io, but Bianca is over too.
They booed this over, dude. All the way through. They not even close. Bianca got booed all WrestleMania build because nobody wanted Bianca to beat Io.
Nice little showcase match for Perez, facts. And I think it was Dale might have said it, and I can't know if I can find the comment here, but he was saying how Alexa and Roxanne are the same height at 5'1".
Right? It doesn't surprise me. And we got a lot, Roxanne's little, Io's little, Julia's not that big. You have the outliers of Nia, Rhea, Raquel. Speaking of Raquel.
Yeah, but that makes them the dominant forces. So am I the only one? Hi, JV, but am I the only one that thought at WrestleMania we kind of got the split of Finn and Dom of when they were kind of having their infighting during the match, and now Finn's just welcome back into the fold like ain't shit happened?
Yeah, no, I didn't think they were. I didn't think there was I would call a split moment. Last week we did see the return of JD, who JD looked good, got a little different look to him right now. But even Finn looking like, oh shit, what's he doing here? So Finn very much feels on the outside. Liv pulling a lot of strings right now as the puppet master to all this. But yeah, no, I don't feel like they're done. They're still here.
Well, I think at the very least at Backlash you get Finn versus Dom here, and I do really like seeing JD back and all that.
Right. Dom beating up Triple H in the back. Is that what they're doing on 2K right now?
Yeah. Well, and now we've switched, instead of booing Dom to it's dirty, dirty Dom, dirty, dirty Dom.
It may be one of the most unexpected turns I've ever been a part of.
Facts.
Did not see it coming at all. Yeah, it's Triple H versus Dom in the background. Anthony wants me gone from this earth. What?
Lovers
we don't want to be gone from this earth.
Well, I've got a human being I might want gone from this earth. Logan Paul walking backstage. Is that we're going to him up next here?
Yeah, here we go, folks. So the show rolls on. We go to commercial break. Don't forget, we are back tomorrow for NXT. It's going to be a fun one. Lots to talk about, lots to get into. And it should be a good one. Lots to talk about when it comes to NXT. As you can see on the screen, we will get a couple title matches tomorrow. Dynamite Wednesday, they're announcing matches. And I know Tony's developed this new thing where he'll announce 2 matches at least on Wednesday afternoon. So stay tuned for that. Wednesdays, we'll see where they go. They're building towards Double or Nothing. You guys remember Double or Nothing? It is still a thing.
Remember when that it was like supposed to be one of like their flagship like pay-per-views and everything?
It really was. It's still, and it's, I mean, nobody told me otherwise. They're just being treated like a little bitch.
There's so many things I could go with that. But I did, as I'm in commercial, I don't know if you are, but I did want to pull this up from AD and Easy. I know I'm going back up the chat, but I respect the hell out of this channel because you guys, I turned into fucking Joe Schmo Italian of you guys. But you guys say the things other channels are afraid to say. I respect the shit out of people like that. Wrestling for Life Network is my tribal chief. Will acknowledge us.
That's it, man. Unscripted, uncensored, unbiased, unlike anybody else out there, folks. And again, we're not trying to, I think the difference between us and a lot of channels or a lot of people, we're not trying to do shit. We are just showing up and doing us. Like we really are. Again, Nick says it every single night. Real, authentic. We are just us. We're glad you like it. And the best thing you could do is tell all your friends. They want to get a real take on wrestling. Show up here. We're not slanted one way or the other. We have our preferences. But if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. And we'll debate about it in between.
Where the wrestling fans you can't get in your real life, where the cheers are wrestling, where everybody knows your name.
Right? It's true.
Yeah, we try and read off every name. Trust me. I feel bad at times. Go ahead.
Real quick. The gorgeous and stunning Jackie Redmond doing an interview with Waller and Theory, and Waller walks off on Theory pissed off. Now we talked about Theory maybe being a nice candidate for Paul. Is this the demise to get there?
Could be. Well, we've been teasing this for a goddamn hot minute, and respectfully though, like I'm almost kind of sick of both of them. Like,
just do it.
Well,
it's
you
like
almost don't want it with Fraxium, and they've teased it, but with this, just goddamn it, pull the band-aid off. Like, and I wonder though, if Waller isn't here, what you do with Waller, because I don't know.
You put
Waller's a Miz guy at best.
Yeah, no, you put him back down to NXT and let him go on a solo run and have a little more success there.
I think he'd get eaten alive. I don't think he wouldn't hold water there.
I disagree. I really think he's athletic. I think he's talented. He's good on the mic. Maybe drop or augment some of his gimmick. The Waller effect to me doesn't fly, but I don't think that Waller is a guy that you just give up on. He has a great level of charisma that is still very young.
Waller goes over Obafemi?
I mean, if there was a will, there was a way, and as a heel, yeah, that could happen. On paper, no. But I mean, again, could Waller cheat to find a way to beat a guy like Oba or beat a Trick? Absolutely. I mean, Waller, Trick, Williams, not that far as what they bring to the table.
I just think of with what you've got of between like Trick, Javon, Oba, Ricky Starks, all of this. Like he instantly, I mean, he's not a top 5 guy to me if he slides to NXT. Like you got to almost build him up in NXT.
I think that's because you're thinking of him right now, the guy who's just meandering and
flowing. Well,
yeah. I mean, again, him going down, like you said, Javon. I mean, if it was Waller versus Javon, that match goes either way. Waller's got more charisma, more ability on the mic than a Javon. Javon might be more bouncy, but Waller can do some shit. He does need a new finisher and maybe some new gear to take him a little more serious.
They need direction. That's what ultimately what breaks down to any wrestling character is they need direction more than anything. You can make any sort of character work as long as it's got a fucking direction.
Yeah, they're more annoying than effective. Like, we see them, they annoy us a little bit, but they don't mean anything, right? They're just, like you said, it's like that your friend in the toxic relationship, and they're like, just fucking break up. Like, say goodbye. And he's like,
they're nuts. They're like the one fucking fly that's in your house that you even open the window, you open the door and everything. You won't just fly the fuck out. Go away.
Right. Logan is here. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Logan Paul has a mic. Who's going to talk to him? I'm going to go find out, talk to some of the sources. And Nick will take you
it's probably just him and his own self.
Future world champion, Logan Paul.
Fuck you. No, he ain't. No, he ain't. No, he's going to leave me on that. Of course. No. Logan Paul, never, not in my lifetime. I don't ever want to see it. But yes, he's out here. So where do we go with Logan? He's calling out Jey Uso. God damn it. I've seen this. It's mostly been fucking fan at it. So we're getting Jey Uso right now. Are we seriously about to set up Logan Paul versus Jey Uso for the world title at Backlash? Oh. I mean, if this is his one, you compete in a world title match and you move the fuck on, fine. Well, no, shit. God damn it. He challenged Roman, didn't he? That was either in Saudi or that wasn't a SummerSlam, was it? No, it was a Saudi show. I rock with you guys. Y'all invited to the cookout. Kiwan, I appreciate it. Absolutely. We're the Dirk Nowitzki of wrestling podcasts. I'll put it out there. Christ, there was a few that I saw that people were saying shit of theater. Paul, this channel is like a wrestling clubhouse in high school. Me and my buddies used to watch Monday Night Nitro, then Raw in college. It's fun to watch wrestle with people. Absolutely. Christ, I used to be the nerd that I would like watch one show and like tape the other. Like you fall asleep to one and so you're taping the other. Anyone remember when you could do that? Like on the old school fatback TVs before then, it would just be like, you got to just tape it on a VHS and like, I watch shit. Yeah, I would literally like watch part of Nitro. I would be flipping back and forth, or like I said, tape one, and before I'm going to school, wake up early in the morning before I'm going to school to watch like what happened or bits of what happened on like Monday Night Raw or something. Yeah, absolutely. No, 100%. And again, everybody in the chat, as y'all talk a lot and we talk a lot, so it's a goddamn problem at times. Yeah, absolutely. Y'all are the lifeblood as much as we are this. If this is just one goddamn huge community, we love to see it keep growing. MDB, yeah, absolutely, my guy. You don't know my 3 game? Respect my 3 game. Absolutely. I sit there and hit the fadeaway, the Euro step. What did Jey Uso just fucking Don DeMarco on Logan Paul here? What did he say? Nick, I agree with you. No yeet to Logan Paul being world champion. Never, ever. Which did anyone else see too of like Jimmy Uso out there announcing the draft pick for the 49ers at the draft? Seth Rollins out there announcing the pick for the Bears at the draft. So again, back to that whole conversation that KJ mentioned about Meltzer of, AEW isn't cool and taking a fan poll. Yeah, because you've got, think about it. You have the kid of an owner of a team and you don't have an AEW superstar announce a draft pick at the draft. You got WWE superstars. You got 2 of them at least out there doing it. You couldn't have gotten in Willow to announce a Jacksonville Jaguars pick. I've done more in 4 years. Oh my God, Logan, shut up. Seth versus Jey at SummerSlam. Maybe that could be where we're going. We talked about it of once they kind of lock on to Jey, it might be really interesting. So that's why I wonder if Sammy being the lamb led to slaughter, the merciful first sacrifice there to this new alliance, brings in Jey, because now he's got to avenge Sammy, and now this is where you make those pathways intersect. Oh, super kick. Shout out to Kevin Love too. Mortier, hey, shout out, girl. What up? Yay. I like Cross until the bell rings. No, I love me some Karrion Kross. He's going to win the Money in the Bank this year. Free my homie Karrion Kross. So, how many people out there right now honestly think that was Karrion Kross really like actually shooting at like production, or if that was not just we're working a story now? We talked about Liv's going to have a big week in Raw, but I think Karrion Kross is going to have a big year in WWE in 2025. Like I said, he's most likely going to end up Money in the Bank briefcase holder. You Christ almighty, could you see of Karrion Kross versus a Jey Uso, or a Karrion Kross versus potentially a John Cena? Depends on where we're at post-December, but we're setting up for the Viking Raiders versus Finn and JD coming up next here. So JD's first match back after, what was it? Broken ribs, lacerated spleen, or something, this, that, and the other. Yeah. Yeet kick. Hashtag yeet kick. Yeet. That was a shoot because his contract is up this summer. No, I actually I haven't heard anything about his contract being up. That well, I have heard a little bit about that, but yeah, no, they're not going to air that. They're not going to sit there and publicly kind of promote that. And how funny that as soon as that came out is when you had XYZ Twitter account was out there, Karrion Kross set up for a big 2025 in WWE. That's what it was. Of they've already been moving in that direction. They brought back to where it's just him and Scarlett. They brought back the old entrance. They brought back the old music. They're setting him up to be kind of this puppet master character and everything, and have this edge. That's why they aired even when he's out there walking the red carpet, tearing into this and that and everything. That's why they play into the whole New Day won the tag titles, but was it because of the message, the meddling of Karrion Kross, all of that. Sweet Yeet music. That's not a bad shout, actually. It's between Yeet Kick and Sweet Yeet music. I don't mind the Sweet Yeet music. Night, get the blanket and the biggie. He's going to eat in his sleep. Oh, boy, Bradley. But I am in commercial break right now. Kayfabe. Carlito is a waste of money. Not at all. Not at all. He's still a mid guy. He's comic relief. He's, very much to still get involved in everything. And again, he can still go in the ring. And especially if there's the rumor that WWE's in talks with the, I think it's like WWR. I can't remember. It's a Puerto Rican wrestling promotion after they just purchased AAA. So you sit there and if you do that and you get, Carlito out down there in a Puerto Rican wrestling promotion, absolutely. He's your top guy there. Yeah, no, I don't think he's at all a waste of money. And trust me, we've seen WWE more than other WWC. Thank you, Christopher. Thank you. Yeah, WWC. I was one letter off, but I was close. And we've also seen WWE much more than other wrestling companies. And to much of the internet or wrestling community's chagrin, they're very frugal when it comes to wrestling, contracts and everything, talent contracts. If they will let somebody go if they feel like they need to, what have you. So I would never say that he's a waste of money. And good God, I'm getting a Happy Gilmore 2 trailer. What timeline are we in? During WrestleMania week, I watched Sabu in a match. In his last match, had Sandman come out. I got a Happy Gilmore, trailer out here. I got the Dangerous Alliance on my screen. What timeline are we in here? McAvoy or Stewart? These timelines are confusing. Logan Paul deserves the world title. No, he does not. Name me anything, and I do mean anything, that shows that he deserves to be a world champion. And he can have a match for it. It's a pretty goddamn sweet time now. There you go. But yeah, no, he does not deserve. It's not warranted. It's not needed for him to be a world champion. And I can already hear the argument. Well, he gets social media clicks. So fucking what? Wrestling as a whole right now gets social media clicks. I would almost dare to question the number of, and I'm sure KG's in the back already trying to look up numbers of what, say, a video from WrestleMania of Jey Uso winning, does versus, say, Logan Paul's, match or anything like that. Because that's the thing is, how much if Logan Paul was going to appeal to the greater audience, he's already been doing that. Him being world champ isn't going to do anything but piss off your fan base that's already there. What audience you would have brought in from having Logan there is already there. So if you have him world champ, you just piss off your foundation. it is a better version of Arquette winning the championship. And I say that because Logan, yes, he can actually wrestle, but it is in the same vein of when WCW put the title on Arquette. You're doing it just for fucking clicks outside of the company that aren't going to come. Yeah, BS stick. Yeah, fine. You can come back and argue it with me. Come back here and say that to my face. Raiders, of course, yes, folks, let me know who you're taking when you're taking Judgment Day of Finn and JD, the Irish Warriors taking on the Viking Warriors, the Celtic Warriors, the Viking Raiders, the War Raiders, the Sons of Valhalla out here. That should be the goddamn name, Sons of Valhalla. So why doesn't Logan deserve to be the top champ? Because he's not that good and he's not an actual fucking wrestler. And what story is he in outside of just he's on the internet and people know who he is? Like, what are we doing here? So are we just gonna go Logan should hold all the belts just because he's got X amount of followers on fucking Twitter? Like, what happened to actually being talented in the ring? What happened to actually, being in a fucking story or anything outside of just we're going for clickbait? He's not that good. He's all right. He's a good celebrity wrestler. He's not fucking better than Seth Rollins. He's not better than Roman Reigns. He's not better than CM Punk, all former world champions. I dare say he's not better than Jey Uso, current world champion. As we've got the New Day outside on commentary here, as double scoop slam from the Raiders on the Judgment Day. KJ, come get your man. I'll do the Shannon Sharp gift. Go ahead. Come on. Bring it on. Yeah, I agree. Bronson would be good in the Heyman stable. He would be good. The only thing is he's been out there and publicly been against Seth. So it'd be interesting if he just shows up and, instantly turns sides with it. But yeah, I mean, so it would be almost similar to the same reason why I said about what Jeff or KJ mentioned. I've copied. Oh, with Jeff Cobb, big ass bruiser, as Ivar goes for the sideways splash into JD and misses and eats the king side of the ring LED screen hard as shit. Gunther, he does not know how to wrestle. Logan Paul does. What? No. You cannot say Gunther doesn't know how to wrestle and Logan Paul does. The ring general, Walter, Gunther, the guy who was the longest reigning IC champion of all time in WWE history, the former world champion up until WrestleMania 41. He doesn't know how to wrestle, but Logan Paul does. Johnny, come on. That's heresy. That's heresy out there. Been trying to get this red. Nick, Heyman, Faction, Braun, Seth, Jade, Becky, Bronson. There you go, Larry. I agree with, Braun, Seth, Jade, no. SmackDown again. And it'd be really interesting. That sounds much more like you're building the X-Men. Becky, yes. Bronson, debatable. Like I said, I like the idea of, I think KJ was the first one really to bring it up, of Jeff Cobb, of if you're going to go this kind of evolution on a vibe with it, you have Heyman almost in that Flair spot. You have Seth as Hunter. You have Braun, second generation, third generation, what have you, talent as your Randy Orton. And then you have Jeff Cobb as your Batista. I walk alone. Oh, I walk for miles. Wrestling, bro. Oh, don't you hit me with the bro. We ain't Russoing out here. Oh my God, that super left field. What is? War Raiders, a good work rate team, but they have their kind of bland on their own. They could be heavies for someone. I think they're just heavies in the tag division. I think that's really what it is. If you have a team in the tag division that is just a bit of monsters, that they're agile monsters, but they're smash them, stack them, and they can just somehow surprisingly also hit a moonsault. Christopher saying War Raiders for the win. Yeah, Jade on SmackDown. That's the only thing if we're staying on brand loyalties. Yeah. Go watch on Gunther's Anywhere. Absolute Christ. Go watch anything with Gunther, Pete Dunne. Go watch anything with Gunther, Ilya. Absolutely. You look at what the fucking Cheshire Cat over there.
My God. Where to begin? Where to unpack? We have a good match going on right now. And again, remember, JD got hurt against the War Raiders. So this kind of comes full circle. He missed the moonsault over Ivar's head and hit the table. So good to see JD back. He looks like he's in great shape. We go to commercial break. No, we're coming back from commercial break. Listen, I know people don't like Logan Paul. I know you don't like Logan Paul.
Mm-hmm.
But ignoring all the stuff that he's done in ring, I mean, when you say that CM Punk's a better physical wrestler than Logan Paul right now, it's not factual. Logan Paul is Punk's a great storyteller. I love CM Punk, one of the best in the business. But physically, he's not what he used to be. He's 45 years old. Logan Paul has good matches. He just beat AJ Styles. This is, again, I know that where we get our feelings into things, but we're overlooking his body of work, the good matches, the highlight moments. This is more than about just clicks. The clicks help. And again, he brings a shit ton of eyes. But when you have, think about this, when you have people who doubt Jey Uso, the perfect guy to put Jey Uso against is Logan Paul, because Logan is universally hated, so it helps Jey stay loved.
I'm not arguing the match. I am arguing that Logan ever wins that belt.
He will win that belt.
Not in this year, for the at least goddamn least. And so if you're going to talk, though, about, yes, Logan is better physically gifted right now. If he can hit all the buckshot lariats and the moonsaults and this and that. But as far as having a better, cohesive wrestling match, I would still say CM Punk has a better wrestling match than Logan.
Yeah, like if you put Punk in there to call a match, run a match, yeah, the experience speaks for itself. Because Phil can't physically do what Logan can do.
And that's fine, but I'm saying but Logan can have great spots. Phil has a better match.
Maybe, but I mean, Logan's had really good matches. Wow, misses the moonsault. Logan's had really good, like those highlight clickable moments, that Ricochet moment, the moonsault, the selfie elbow on Roman, the people were fucking blown away by him catching the drone. Like things like that. He's kind of the new age wrestler. And again, I think we got to give him some credit. And as far as being a heel, he's one of the most hated heels. You're telling me Dom's the best wrestler and the guy that should lead the IC division? He's not the best wrestler. But he got his gimmick over. Here he goes. Jey Uso's not the best wrestler, but he's got a really catchy song.
But he has a character and he has a story and he has the motivation, everything behind it. Logan just kind of pops in and out and everything. Like I am not opposed to Jey Uso versus Logan Paul. Jey Uso wins that match 11 times out of 10 to me.
I don't think so, man. I think it's 50-50 at best. Jey Uso, a lot of people tell you Jey Uso can't wrestle. So
and they said about John Cena, he won 17 championships.
Well, there you go. So the guy that can athletically do shit and maybe not the best, but gets a lot of notice and love, you just solved my argument. I think
Shut up, you. We're going to take this to court. I'll see you in court.
Yeah,
this will get thrown out before we get there.
Right? He's never had a stinker in 4 years. And we forget how long Logan's been doing.
He's only had 4 matches in 4 years.
Yeah, that's not true. But ultimately, again, I think if he is more consistent and involved, we saw him on the road to WrestleMania. He gets a win at WrestleMania. He's back tonight. If he can stay back and consistent the way he said he was going to. Yeah, I mean, this is a guy who's training. This is a guy at home trying to make sure his moves look good when he gets to big matches. And that's, again, not a guy who's mailing it in. He is literally training to be good at this. And I know
he's a guy that retired on his fucking podcast and then instantly unretired.
He made a joke and the internet ran with it.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, don't be the IWC. We know better than that. We fall for everything.
Well, I like MDB. We would be lost without a righteous leader.
Fucking hell.
I'm out here speaking heresy, apparently.
I just think, again, Nick, I get the complaints, but I think because we hate Logan Paul as a dude, we overlook the fact that he's actually pretty good at this.
Oh, I won't deny that he's a good wrestler. He is not a world champion.
I mean, again, like
No.
I mean, a lot of waiting, Penta!
Penta!
Oh, hello!
Zero, shovel.
Raiders are going to get their shot back, as they should.
Oh,
the War Machine.
And it's still crazy of, well, someone mentioned in the chat about the War Raiders being like heavies for somebody. I think they just work as heavies in the tag division of they're just kind of this brute team that can sit there and also hit moonsaults and everything else.
Yeah, I mean, again, I didn't like them dropping the belts to the New Day. I didn't like, as Penta on the table, getting the crowd going, man's over. Say whatever you want out there, sickos. Penta having a ball.
He's just front walking across the commentary desk.
Smooth as butter.
Did you see the little kid? And I know your little kid's the same way, but was out there having a whole birthday party. It was like zero, middle.
Again, man. Again, it is. It's cool.
Well, yeah. Christ, wrestling's cool again across the board.
Mm-hmm. Meadow, let's go. The Raiders successful, so they will get a title shot. They will get a chance to go back at New Day.
I'm going to take a brief tag here in half a second as we got Otis and Sammy. But I mentioned this while you were on your pauses, speaking about things being cool. Now I got to stay for fucking Heyman. Sorry, Otis. Can you just leave us be? And there's a history between Heyman and Sammy from the bloodline.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're OG members.
Yeah. Again, it all ties together so well. Loves Benna.
It's crazy how the dying star of the bloodline storyline birthed a whole new genesis of shit.
Well, I mean, again, you look at like the Marvel universe, you look at Lord of the Rings, you look at good things like that were successful, they branch out. Sometimes too far, Disney, stop it. But yeah, they branch out in a lot of ways. And the bloodline, it spawns all these, like, the people talk about the death of the bloodline, but the bloodline kind of lives on through all these little nuances and all these little stories.
Is the bloodline the greatest story in wrestling of the last decade?
Yeah, I mean, the last decade, just for its longevity alone, I think you have to give it credit.
Well, it was half the decade alone. So,
right?
Yeah.
For so long, and it was relevant for so long. Like, it was at the top. Like, again, they went through lows, but then all of a sudden, Sammy was a story. Then Solo was a story. Then, the turning on each other was a story. Like, there always seemed to be something, like, where it ran its course that it mattered. So, yeah, I mean, in the last decade, it's hard-pressed to find another story that was that successful.
Well, and like I was saying, out of a dying star, a whole new genesis is born.
So Paul is trying to convince Sammy to be traded to SmackDown.
To get away.
Yeah,
so
get away.
Trying to help him. I don't want to see you hurt, so please go over there and you'll be safe from what we're about to do. I'm saving you from the reckoning.
And if you go there, you face the winner of John Cena versus Randy Orton.
Just like that.
Paul,
why not? Yeah. Well, Bob had them 40.
Right.
And Genie Paul Heyman on here.
Logan gets to practice his matches in between PLEs as opposed to being on the road like everyone else. Thus, he is not a good worker. He's just a good memory. Corey, I would disagree. The man, everybody's got to put in the work, and you got to remember Logan is younger in his career. He is, I know we just talked about he's been around for 4 years, but you want him to practice, you want him to get well. And again, I mean, the name value comes with certain perks. Braun Breaker.
Oh no.
And here comes Becky. All the things are happening.
Yeah, Becky about to come out as Heyman leaves, and he pats up Braun. I thought Braun was about to just go in of like, you handle him now.
Right.
I'll make you want to fucking move because I'll smash your ass. Pause. I'm going to take a pause, but I'm going to say this real quick. I mentioned this while you were on your break. WWE had Jimmy Uso, Seth Rollins show up and announce draft picks at the NFL draft again. Again, establishing them in the pop culture. They're cool. Do you not think that it's weird that AEW, who's partially owning and involved with the Jacksonville Jaguars, not one AEW superstar showed up, announced a draft pick, anything for Jacksonville to also get that same kind of similar coverage? Tony Khan ain't do even shit.
Yeah, a little surprising in the sense that, again, I mean, if you're the owners and you have access to people who are apparently these big stars, why would you not expose them? Why would you not use them? But it's not the same. I mean, Seth Rollins or Logan Paul or Roman Reigns or whoever. I mean, CM Punk shows up at a Chicago Blackhawks game. It's big news. So again, it's just on a greater level. And in the 5 years that Tony Khan's been doing what he's doing, nobody in his company has become a big national star where people talk about him, that you bump into people on the street with like a Kenny Omega t-shirt or a Young Bucks t-shirt. I love Will Ospreay. I think he's got all the potential. I think Swerve's got a ton of potential. I just think they have failed to hit that mark as far as pushing them into the limelight. And when you are trying to push guys like Kenny or Ospreay or Swerve or Page into the big spotlight of mainstream, you got asshole Moxley, your world champion, falling on spikes and doing stupid shit. You got Swerve with a syringe in his cheek, and it yanks you right back into the puddle. That's my take on that. But for those who can't see, I am getting a replay of Liv and Raquel taking on Bird Lady and Becky at the pay-per-view. Of course, the turn of Becky Lynch. She will be here to speak her mind. Jey Yeet can improve his form. I don't think Jey Uso's a bad wrestler. I think a lot of people have been hard on him. I think some of the people that listen to like a Jim Cornette are hard on him. But I think Jey does what Jey needs to do in the ring. I think he's athletic. I think he works well. He has a pocket of select moves that the fans respond to. He might be a better tag team wrestler, but I don't think Jey Uso's a bad wrestler. That is funny as shit, MDB. Gotta like right the ship. Do y'all feel that the heat between Trips and The Rock feels like there's a power struggle? Key one, I don't. Here's my take on that right now. I think it's a kayfabe struggle. I think, again, the internet blows things up, makes it sound bigger than it is. And I will say this, and I'll stand on this business. The Rock has no interest in running this company on a day-to-day. The Rock has shit to do. Unless The Rock is retiring from all his other activities to focus on wrestling, The Rock and Triple H have nothing to struggle over. The only thing The Rock and the Triple H might argue about is what The Rock is fucking doing. And if The Rock does show up and say, well, I want to be here and I want to do this, Triple H might have to, because of The Rock's relationship with Ari and such, puts him in a tough spot. But as far as a legitimate power struggle, as we are getting Jeff Passan, ESPN, what? All right, Jeff Passan, shut up. I don't think there's a legitimate power struggle there. Again, do I think that there's something at the top? If The Rock's going to be involved, does The Rock very much want to control what happens with The Rock? Yes. Is that hard to manage as Triple H? For sure. But does The Rock want to come in and be the CFO or the chief content creator officer of WWE? God, no. Does that mean, you know what then? You put like a Brian Gerwitz or whatever the fuck? Do you put him in? Why would you do that? I think the company is running well enough that they're content. The only struggle is The Rock is The Rock, and The Rock wants things The Rock's way. And I still feel, I got this small feeling in my gut, and I could be wrong. It might take some time to figure out, but I still feel like there's a story kind of being told in a convoluted way a little bit, but I feel like there is this power struggle that's going to come to the forefront on TV at some point. I just don't know when. Jey Yeet can improve. Again, Jay's over as fuck. I defended Jay tooth and nail. The people that were all for Jay Uso winning the Royal Rumble until he won it, and then they were mad about it, confused the shit out of me. All right, where are we going? Becky needs new presentation. She shouldn't be the man anymore. Yeah, I mean, again, how do you change it? What direction do you go? And again, I said it at the top of the show tonight, folks. If I was booking, I would highly consider Becky joining Paul Heyman. Becky looking good, though. I want things the Rock's way, too. Yeah, right. No shit. Nobody cares about Netflix actors. Yeah, no, not. They show a lot of them. Or like these Netflix reality stars of like so-and-so from Too Hot to Handle. And who cares? We want Dwayne. I don't know about that. Rock is on the board. He has final say if Ari says go wrestle. Yeah, I mean, again, that's what I mean. I think the Rock has influence. The Rock has a level of contribution to it all. Ari's close to him. Nick Khan's close to him. But at the end of the day, I think that's where the struggle lies. But I can't see The Rock coming in and going, I really think, Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria, I'll be shocked if he knows who Lyra is, should do this in their next angle. Like, again, the day-to-day creative is not something that The Rock has time or energy to put into. The Bloodline storyline lasted longer than WCW Nitro. Not only did it last longer than Nitro, it lasted longer than Nitro while carrying a whole company while teabagging AEW. The fact. So Becky cutting a promo on Bayley to start. Stay away, Dwayne. Jey Uso was a worker. I remember wrestling the most over the past year. I remember Jay wrestling the most over the past year. Jay's over as fuck. And again, Jay, you remember like The Rock, Austin. Like, I know we look back on these guys fondly, but especially in that, like in the Attitude Era, they had good wrestling matches. Don't get me wrong. Some of the best matches ever. We've gone through it here on multiple times on these shows. But you go back and watch their wrestling skills. Austin did a lot, and as long as you hit those key notes and you hit them well, you're doing your job. And I feel like Jay is a little in line with that. Like, Jay will take a beating from a Gunther, but then fight back, hit the uppercut spot, get some eats going, hit a super kick. He's got his staples. He's not world champ caliber. Oh, PA 3-way. Welcome. You're going to have to be more specific. We've been talking about a lot of people. Becky Lynch heel turn just felt rushed. I don't think so. Again, she was gone. I think the problem was you brought her in. Rush might not be the right word. I think you might have been better off having Bayley Lyra fight the tag team match and have Becky cost them there and say that she hates Bayley, sick of her shit, and Bird Lady, who is she? We don't care. So, but Lyra is here right now. Oh, I'd rather have Logan as champ. Maybe this is a warm-up title feud and Logan wins Money in the Bank, cashes in. It could be. A Logan Paul Money in the Bank cash-in would be one of those ones where it just rages people. And that's not bad. That's not a bad thing. KJ, I'm pulling for the Maple Leafs to win against the Senators out of respect as the New York Rangers fan. Good luck. Well, thank you. We are going to put the Senators to bed tomorrow. The Senators got a lucky bounce on Saturday. Good game. Got the OT goal. But the Leafs are about done with this one. I was listening to his dad's podcast today. Okay. Nice. Becky Lynch heel turn. Makes sense. Just felt rushed. Okay. Definitely a quick flip, right? She's back. Yay. She's evil. Boo. For what you did to me. So Becky rolls out. And Lyra's showing some mic skills here tonight. Lyra needs to get revenge on Becky. She getting the crowd going. We got to give some love to Lyra here tonight. Generally pretty, we're not the most charismatic lady that we've seen coming along, but running her mouth. Lyra is so jacked. She's strong as fuck. Lyra out here, hubba hubba. There you go. Look, you can't have them all, MDB. Jesus Christ. Absolutely worst women's wrestler. Who? TJ. Guys, put some fucking names on this shit. Becky is right here. She is kind of right about Bayley, though. Bayley lost her edge. Bayley lost her kind of swag. Bayley kind of became an afterthought. Do you remember the SummerSlam title match Jay had with Roman, where the IWC was clamoring for Jay to beat Roman? Yeah, 100%. Main event, Jey Uso needs his moment. And that was at a time where a lot of people are the bloodline storyline gone too long. Do we care about this anymore? Roman, we're so sick of Roman. Give it to Jay. Give it to Jay. I was here live, and people were dying for Jay to win. Then he won the Rumble. They said, fuck him. I'm a better wrestler than you. Becky freaking out. Kicked in the face. In the face. Let's go. Let's go. Becky trying to get rid of that accent, right? Hollywood, let me know. As Lyra chasing her out of the ring, Becky jumping into the... Oh, here we go. Becky taking off. It is good for Lyra. Whose promo made no sense? Becky's? Becky almost broke Netflix. Becky isn't justified at all. A heel's always justified if they can tell the right story, if they can weave the right web, right? So, Bayley, I don't know. But I will admit, the only thing I can say is it's made me like Lyra a little more. Painful. In what way? So bad. All right, let me know. What was the bad part of that? Like, I mean, I get it. I watched it with you guys. I thought Becky came out, gave a little fucking justification for being an asshole. Lyra came out, said, everybody warned me that you were an asshole, and then kicked her in the face. I thought it was all right.
She gave more justification than I do. But I think that's what we even talked about before of it setting up long term for her versus Bayley.
Oh, Becky came back. Becky came back.
You can blame it all on me.
Becky came back.
Well, and she sat there and had a crash out of, you wouldn't have been training even if it wasn't for me and everything. She basically, you little shit, you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me.
Right. Lyra jacked. I agree, man. What's up, Garrett? How you doing? Needs to get her revenge. I agree, man. And this is the start of it. Bird Lady's cooking. It was the best and the most we've seen out of Lyra in her time on the main roster. She came out. She cut a strong promo. It made sense. She was fired up. She got the crowd going. That's her job. The crowd was behind her. And then when Becky freaked out, she kicked her in the mouth.
Shout out Chad Gable was wearing the El Grande Americano numero uno shirt.
Yeah. Chad recently on a couple podcasts publicly upset that he missed out WrestleMania.
I know it sucks of having a great talented wrestler like that should have been on that card. We saw it even too with the TLC match of they very much should have been on the card.
Right.
But yeah, anyone expecting that we're going to get a Lyra Becky payoff in the next week, the next month, strap on and strap in. You're not getting a payoff to this.
No, I think they get a match at Backlash.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying anybody else. Yeah.
I think they get the match at Oh, Penta just beating up everybody tonight.
You got to wrestle the Lucha Bros. We got a Lucha Bros reference. Metal.
Penta getting fired up.
Right.
I want them all. They got Pokemon, dude.
I want to be the best that ever was.
Lyra is cooking. Anthony's with me. Stephanie and Ivy up next. I don't even have a graphic of this one. It got announced so late.
Fair enough. Well, speaking of announced, this is crazy. If this is accurate, and this is going deep into our archives of Go Pack Go All Day, saying T Gaines. I think actually our first interview on the channel.
One of them, if not
It
the first.
was on AEW recently. So, if true,
What did the Thigh Machine do on AEW? I don't think I saw it.
it would either been probably security or maybe like a Ring of Honor. Well, because we had Vinny Pacific. We've actually had a fair amount of people that we've interviewed that have been on AEW. From Vin to Big Trouble, he fucking is the highlight of Rampage history.
Jeremy Prophet, going back a couple years.
Facts, true. And then we've had the whole lineage of GCW, and now we've got the Irish lasses wrestler. We got the Irish connection out there. That actually might be the first real connections.
Yeah, Chad Cable comes out with Ivy Nile. I will put a poll up. Go Pat, go. Let me know. Big fan. She is such a sweet, kind-hearted woman, really working on her craft, athletic as hell. We talk about being jacked. T Gaines puts in the work, so go give her some love, folks. Right? And I mean, don't be creepy.
Yeah, but he answered you. T Gaines was in a squash match, but it was nice to see her on TV.
100%.
Fair enough.
Shout out Gaines.
Yeah. Shout out Big Trouble. Stephanie is definitely the workhorse in WWE right now.
She killing it.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of workhorses right now. I'd say that at least.
It's getting good. It's getting good in that way. I mean, on both sides, there's a lot of guys and girls that are really carrying the weight. And I mean, to see Seth Rollins' credit, that is one of his claims against Punk, against Roman. Like, Roman's part-time, Punk's broken. I'm the guy that carries this company.
Is that why this works the best right now of having this situation? Because Cena's obviously, he's pointed out of I've only got X amount of dates, so he's not going to be there weekly. Punk, again, you're not going to use him fully weekly just in and you don't want to run that down too much.
Right.
Roman's already halfway part-time. He's already said he might only have a year or two left.
Right.
So Seth's the guy that's going to be there week in, week out. We've seen him both weeks post WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome, Pack. Again, folks, you can go down in our archive down below into our interviews. There's a lot there. It's even under the originals, the Wrestling for Life original section. Check out all our interviews. We've had some really fun ones. We're looking to do more. Again, the live streams and such kind of take precedence, but we are looking forward to getting back to talking to some folks out there.
Yeah, and 100%, if you want to see us talk to somebody or anything like that, hit up their socials and say you should be on the Wrestling for Life Network.
Absolutely. Have you heard the rumors of Thekla possibly going to WWE? Yeah, I mean, from Stardom, her time is done apparently. Is it odd? Because people talk a lot about relationships in wrestling, but WWE seems to have the streamline on Stardom talent, not the other company.
Well, yes and no, but also they remember Christ, what's his name that started Marigold? That was with Stardom and left. Anyone out there, fact checkers, know who I'm talking about, but that might be part of it. I think Thekla, which is still, I almost have to say it with a lisp. Maybe she's more of a TNA talent. Like, I don't know if she is as familiar as I'm getting a Rusev video package, but I don't know if she's as familiar with a US audience in any promotion. So it might be one of those, like, if she shows up, she starts off in like Ring of Honor, NXT.
Yeah, I mean, she'd go to NXT. I think so. I mean, we got some time. You saw it with Julia and Stephanie and such. But some wrestlers, like Stephanie, was public. She got the option. She chose NXT for all the people out there that panicked. She had the option, and she said, no, I'd like to go to NXT. And it's smart. Again, we are getting a Rusev package, which makes me laugh. Somebody had made a comment about O'Shea Jr. being on TNA last night and said, oh, AEW next. And he said, nope, they shunned me because I was critical. Because I wanted video packages. And somebody went, hey, man, they just brought Aleister Black back and Rusev without video packages. It was like, you are dumb. So O'Shea shot on them a little bit. But, again, this is a funny scenario where, Little Cube gets to be on TNA, gets to be a part of the pre-show, and he does not have a good taste in his mouth for AEW. And it's unfortunate for AEW.
Oh, absolutely. But it is still like having a guy like him being involved, and this is not trying to glaze, Little Cube. But him having the podcast on the Rich Eisen network, him doing stuff with Busted Open, him doing the pre-show, of having someone that's in that celebrity realm, so interested into wrestling and so public about their fandom for wrestling, is a huge advantage to pro wrestling across the board.
Absolutely. Larry might be speaking to you. I don't know if
Nick and Charlotte, the only true horse. I'm a horse. I'm a horse for you. I don't know. Save a horse, ride a cowboy. I don't know.
Larry, you might.
Larry, are you coming on to me?
Here comes Stephanie Vaquer. Who's a Vaquer backer?
That we need all of these shirts just done as like politician-y type shit of I'm a Vaquer backer, stand with Oos or something like that. Well, we already got to do the TNA just the TNA graphic reversed.
Right. Chad Gable's a true workhorse. Chad Gable's a stud, man. And he's had a really good career. Again, I would love to see him get his hands on a belt. I think he's a guy that deserves a little bit of more love that way, but he's done a really good job. And you bring him in and you can put guys like Penta in the ring with him because he's going to protect them and make them look good.
Well, he is the definition, and it's not even just because of the Shorty G gimmick of I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. Of if he was like 6 inches taller, he's like IC champ, runaway. He's out there. He's competing with Braun Breaker for spots on cards.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. A lot of people have talked about Rio for like 2 years now, man. We've seen Rio in action. We've covered her live. My money, I'd say TNA maybe. AEW could use it, but they don't use the talent they have, and WWE might have too many. They might be bloating way too much.
That's the worry is WWE getting to the point to where they're going to hemorrhage talent.
Mm-hmm. They're going to have to. Again, some hard decisions are going to be made. And if you look at now, Stephanie being used on the main roster, Julia, Roxy, who knows who else is on the way into the main roster position. It's getting busy, dude. And it feels like they're pushing the new guard and pushing out the old guard a little bit.
Right. Well, as I've got Ivy and Stephanie right now doing pure mat wrestling, but I think someone mentioned this, might have been when you were on a pause before or whatnot, but about like Carlito being like a waste of money. Like,
no,
you never want to call for somebody's job, but like when do you? Fair enough, but like who would you? I don't want to.
Why is Carlito always?
But no, of who? Like,
I'm not saying you
talked about that. There's like talent that it like might need to be cut off. Like an Apollo Crews, respectfully, might be released sooner rather than later.
Yeah, Apollo Crews, we could probably say goodbye to. Let him go. Like, to me, Apollo Crews kind of has that young Drew McIntyre vibe of like, you got talent, but you can't figure it out in this environment. Go elsewhere. I would admit that. I think there's a big difference between Carlito and Apollo Crews. The only way I can explain it to everybody out there, and hopefully it makes sense, is if you go back to sports, like we like to do, every team has supporting guys. Not every team is stacked with starters. Not every team has, hockey's a perfect example. You got first line guys, you got third line guys, you got fourth line guys. Not everybody can. You don't have 12 first line guys. It never works. It never happens. It's never a thing unless Team Canada's playing, and then we're just beating up on people. But baseball is the same way. Are you going to put your money in pitching, or are you going to put it in your bats? Football, are you going to, what side of the coin are you going to spend your money on? Do you have a really good quarterback and wide receiver, or did you put your money in your defense? I think a guy like Carlito, again, a supporting guy. He's comic relief a little bit. You throw him in there again, a vet that's going to give you a decent match. You need those guys. You need the grinders. You need the third liners.
I was going to say, he's like, not to, as shucky ducky quack,
He's a great bench guy.
Smack. Like, does this have a name outside of just
clap?
Booker T loses his mind.
Clap, clap, clap.
This is awesome. But yeah, no, I
Boo.
was about to say literally as I go to commercial, but yeah, Carlito's like that third line winger kind of guy that's out there. He just kind of mucks shit up a little bit.
Especially, I think, with the modern audience. Like, we see it at the top of the card, right? Like Mania, right? You got John Cena and Cody in a match. You got Roman and Seth and CM Punk, like 5 big names. And then under that, you have to find places for Jay and Gunther, big names. You have other guys on the other side of the card that you had to find. Randy Orton, you had to find something to do. It was supposed to be KO. But ultimately, we're getting back to that Attitude Era where you got The Rock and Mick Foley for the IC title, in the mid card, because it is so stacked. It's not a bad problem, but again, I think you do need a supporting cast. You need those grinders that are going to play a role, play a part.
Teams that win cups are teams that have good second and third lines, not just teams that have great first lines.
And again, not to pick on anybody, but to point out, I think
to pick on somebody.
But to point out that I think that's one of like the booking issues over on the Wednesday show is you give everybody 15-minute matches. You give everybody the same shit. You either give them nothing or you give them everything. And therefore you don't, like, everyone ends up just feeling like a supporting cast member. You don't have like the stars and then the secondary people. Like if we have a match on Wednesday and it's Will Ospreay versus Kevin Knight, that match is going 20 minutes and they're both going to cook, but Kevin Knight's a supporting guy. So now you have a third line guy going toe to toe with your top line guy. And it's not always the best way to do it. There has to be a tiered system. There has to be a merit system.
This isn't a preseason game. You can have, the first line guy. You can have your starting offensive tackle get the first quarter, your backup get the second quarter, your the third string get the third quarter, and then you throw in your starter on the back end there.
Yeah. If she is calling that move the Devil's Kiss, maybe my favorite fucking move name ever. Like, for what that move is, to call it the Devil's Kiss, if you're able to spin around in it, it's then Heaven's Kiss.
Oh, that's when you're an angel. We were talking about being cake eaters before. I love me some Devil's Food Cake.
Mm-hmm. Right. Lana got a Legends contract. Now that's funny. Not sure what's funny about it. I mean, it's new.
It's fucking hilarious that she's a legend. Do you think that this is the theory with the Legends contracts and all of that this is territorial colonialism, all of that? If we're gonna soak up everybody coulda, shoulda, woulda been under a deal, we'll throw you, like, instead of saying we're gonna offer Rusev whatever 100,000 a year, we'll knock off 50 of it and we'll pay your wife 50 a year, be on a Legends contract. So now AEW can never use anything with Lana, CJ Perry, all of that.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm sure there's part of it as the Devil's Kiss is. Yeah.
Angel Food Cake.
Angel Food Cake. Let's fucking go. Mr. Noob, you're exactly right. Cuts will be a thing. And when these cuts happen, the fans are going to run to Twitter and break their thumbs on, I can't believe they're doing this. There is a level of bloat. Keep in mind, what we're watching right now, though, is a transition. So it's trying to figure out who comes and goes. Am I mad that we don't see Apollo Crews? No. But ultimately, there will be cuts to this roster. The men's roster might not be as thick or as deep in a lot of ways than the women's roster.
Yeah, well, and I mean, Christ, we just watched TNA last week or last night and everything. Ivy with a suplex on the Stephanie on the outside after Gable fucking vote for Pedro King out here. But
Omos. Where's Omos? Poor
he got
Omos.
benched. Remember, he got benched. He got benched.
Cut him and let him go tag with Singh.
Oh boy. Well, no, just keep him in Noah. But like Steve Macklin doesn't end up being Steve Macklin if he stays as one of the Forgotten Sons in WWE.
Yeah, and where people talk about the bloat of the roster, well, we got rid of Baron Corbin had to move on. People didn't like it. Our buddy Dijak moved on. People didn't like it. Tegan Knox no longer works here. Again, we've been down this road, and again, we're going to lose some good talent at AEW or MLW or AEW. I said AEW twice. TNA.
Yeah.
These companies can pick up this talent. This talent does have a chance to work and do what they do best. I would agree with that. And don't forget, they don't have nearly as many people sitting on the couch collecting a paycheck than other companies.
No, I was talking about how many they had. It's just talking about if it happened as we get a superplex and 1, 2 count. But it is also interesting. You have people like Sonya Deville who gets released and is just kind of done wrestling. So that's really some people just that was it. That was their run. They don't need to be like, let me go through this and let me prove myself back on the indies and work myself back into it.
This is awesome chance for Stephanie and Ivy Nile, folks. Again, you got to give these guys credit for what they do with the women's division.
Anthony, if you're still listening, can I please get Ivy and Jordan as a tag team like you have Ash and Heather by Elegance? You just call them like the Muscle Busters or something here?
The Muscle Busters. Big kick. The fans are into everything that's happening right now. And again,
Stephanie is a star. Stephanie is a star.
Yeah. And we talk about Sonya Deville. Does Sonya Deville have talent? Yeah. But what do you do with Sonya Deville when she's not connecting with the crowd? She's not getting over. And you have someone like Steph coming up, Julia coming up, Ivy coming up. You got to make some hard decisions. The same thing with what's going to happen to Zoe Starks. She's struggled for years now. She's been given time. She got pushes. She got rubs.
I'm keeping Zoe and I'm cutting Nikita Lyons, being honest.
Well, I mean, that's to me a different scenario. Nikita's buried in developmental.
Well, she's just buried in being a thought, but yeah.
I don't know if she even, I don't know what her status is.
Does she wrestle? I don't know if she wrestles.
Hasn't in a while.
Oh.
She needs a better finisher.
I don't mind it.
It never looks good. It doesn't have an impact.
I don't mind it because it's the small package and everything. Like,
it just doesn't impact. It looks like a neck breaker, which is common.
Well, it's a shoulder breaker, back breaker.
It's a better finisher.
What would you give her then? Putting you on the spot?
Just a half an hour of devil kisses. That's what I'd give her.
Shucking, ducking, quack, 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 quack. You get sick of Kid Booker.
The women are absolutely cooking. I'm pretty sure I said Zoe, but yeah, Tony Starks is retiring as well.
Yeah, well, I think he's been a little. Well, no, he's coming back as Doomsday. So yeah, or Dr. Doom.
3-0. This is not a great finisher. It just lacks impact. I know what she's trying to do because of the package. I don't know. It just doesn't. I've seen it enough now that it just doesn't scream end of match.
But I think it's though because her signature move, if we're going like by 2K verbiage, her signature move is so much more over that you don't care how she ends the match. You almost want to end her, see her end it on booty claps.
I guess, but you have like, you had the people's elbow, you have those spots, right? Like, and then you still have the rock bottom. I think she could use just something a little more impactful. Keep that move as like a transit, like not a transition move, but a secondary finisher, like a pushing to the end. But HA versus Dom.
Could she do anything like a wow. But could she do anything like a package DDT or anything just going off of sort of got them in like the package position, the backbreaker, shoulder breaker. It's always kind of been used as a transitional move as it is. So I get you if it's not, it doesn't feel finisher.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like, I mean, even a hammerlock DDT, if she could spin it, like Andrade used to, or kind of still does. But she was if she snapped on a submission, especially of a submission that put her in a bit of a snappable position. Well,
she just locks in like a hammerlock instead of going for the DDT. She locks in a hammerlock submission. The only other thing I was thinking of is you'd have to do it depending on the size of who you're wrestling, of get them up there and like you barrel roll them out of it into like a cutter type shit. But that's like that's some video game shit.
Yeah. Xylee is in TNA. I think somebody told you that in the chat, Keyshawn. Another example of a lady that was struggling to kind of connect with the fan base. So they let her move. Oh, no.
The right decision.
Listen, I don't think, and I think you agree with this. Is there anybody in WWE right now that the fans are clamoring for more for than Karrion Kross? Is Karrion Kross the guy that we want more for, more than anyone else out there?
He is the next on the podium of, you have your Kofi Kingston, you have Kofi Mania, you have, movements, you have Yita Mania. Now we all want Karrion Kross. And I can't remember who brought it up earlier or anything like that, but somebody mentioned, do you think that Kross's whole promo was a shoot, or is he just working?
No, y'all got to remember, they run the company. You're not just going to sit there and go off like that without somebody being like, oh. And again, maybe someone does once in a while, but then they don't reference it the next day and talk about it like, oh my God, did you see what Karrion did?
Right.
Again, Shooty. And again, I think they're really trying to work the internet. They're really trying to work the dirt sheets. They're really trying to. That's the way you keep kayfabe somewhat alive in 2025.
Right. Where was this rhetoric when Roman was champ? I'm confused as to what rhetoric we're talking about.
Oh, okay. Backlash official.
Commercial official.
Becky Lynch versus Bird Lady official for Backlash.
Caw.
And we got Ludwig with Kathy Kelly.
But yeah, I'm still trying to figure out the rhetoric when Roman was champ.
Yeah, we might need some context on that one, fans, friends. So it was a great match until she did the move, and then it just felt, again, the move just feels kind of like it's a little clunky, and then it's just over. And again, I just think if she was to find a way to do something a little more impactful, dropping someone on your knee wasn't a finisher for, we've seen it for decades, and it was just a move.
Yeah, that's normally like your transition of your kind of going into a commercial break spot type thing.
Right. Dom versus AJ. So yeah, it looks like AJ and Dom are setting up a little scuffle here.
Right. Just got real loud. Champs work doubles is the rhetoric I was referring to. I still the vitamins are making pages, I guess, in my brain stick together.
Champs work doubles is the rhetoric I was referring to. Okay. Becky versus official for Backlash. Yes, it is. KJ and Nick. The big plan for Liv will be that she's involved with Becky and Bradley. No,
Jesus Christ.
She's busy.
She's supposed to have this big week next week. Let her have this big week.
Oh, we're talking about Money in the Bank now.
And again, I still swear by that. Kross needs to, going back to what we were initially talking about of Karrion Kross, I think he needs to win Money in the Bank. If everybody's behind him at this point, he's very much kind of that Ultronier, there are no strings on me, but he's tied into like that promo set the internet on fucking fire to where he's, hey, the guy in the back with the suit and the tie, fuck you. And then he's out there, being behind when the New Day win the tag belts. And see, I told you pivot this way and everything. So he's the ultimate puppet master right now.
I hate the overly dramatic. Oh, come on. That's wrestling to a T, Mr. Noob. Go back. I mean, think about the days of like all the overselling and the big, the big hoopla of making somebody look like an absolute Hulk, if you will. To me, that just adds to the moment. Think of how many people took shitty stomps from Austin that sold the shit out of them. I mean, to me, that's the business, and I like them.
Fair enough.
And nobody's paying attention to hands. Seriously.
At that point, no one's paying attention. And they're paying attention to different claps. Different claps is what they're paying attention to as we replay the Gunther segment and everything. Which, speaking of making people look like hoax, and again, you give this guy some time off. You give him a moment to kind of reset the character, as Heyman or McAfee's not even going to go in the ring. He's just going to stand on the announce desk.
I like it.
Well, there were so many people that were out there like, I'm glad Gunther choked out Pat. Like, do it more. Do it again.
So many people. Pat's good at his job. You guys don't like fun.
Well, yeah. I mean, I feel a little bit of like I'm halfway trying to be like Pat. I like Pat. So like, you don't like me? You want to choke me?
Man, going back, you were like the biggest Pat advocate going before
Exactly.
you even wrestling. And then, yeah, Pat's fine. Does it pain you, though, to watch him shout out the KC audience?
Yes. There are some things I can say at this point now that respectfully kind of paid me with Pat. Oh, if he's at times a little, like, I know I'm too much, but he's almost even a little at times too much.
I like too much. And again, I find like Booker gets heat for being over the top and loud and obnoxious. Pat gets loud. What do you want? Like, do you guys not remember like the King for a decade plus was screaming puppies at the top of his fucking lungs, and that's about all he contributed to wrestling? Do you guys not remember the King? Like, do we not remember some of the over-the-top people that were just colormen? We talk about Don West. What a legend, and he is a legend. I love that guy. Knew nothing about wrestling when he got into it. But
see, my favorite commentary team of all time, though, was Heyman and JR.
Heyman and JR? I like King and JR. I'm old school.
Well, no, I'm not discrediting that. It's the same thing of even like with Bobby and Gorilla, which even Bobby was the guy who 100% was over the top. Christ almighty, Jesse Ventura. The man defined over the top.
Right.
What? OPE three-way was saying, Nick was saying to Dom that champs work doubles. Oh, not me, Nick. Nick Aldis. They appear more. Yet, how many Roman appearances on SmackDown did we get when Roman as champ? He never griped once.
There's but there's a huge difference between Roman Reigns and Dom Mysterio.
And how long was Roman on SmackDown before Aldis was GM?
Yeah, no, I mean, again, I think it's status, right? Like, I mean, Dom's at a point of his career, you're working. Roman had it in his contract. I work when I want to work.
Creative control, brother.
There you go. Big. I don't care if you love or hate Pat. He's got the entire fans chanting.
I just don't want a Gunther versus Pat match. We've talked about this. Please don't ever give this to me. It's a 30-second match. It is. Why? He chops. I pin, done.
You got to put Pat is a guy that is trained with Rip Rogers, man. He is not nobody. He finds a way to stick and move. It is David versus Goliath. It is epic over beast against the huge underdog.
You got to play treated like boxing, stick and move, stick and move. 100%. You got to fucking run. You've never seen
that before in wrestling, where a guy that should not be in the match finds a way to avoid things. I got
under 5 minutes. Under 5 minutes.
No,
as Pat's picking up Michael Cole, by the way, which again, it's so weird. But like in the past couple of years, as someone who hated Michael Cole for like 10 plus years, I appreciate in the past couple of years Michael Cole.
Yeah, I had to protect my boy. He is killing this promo, so I don't give a fuck what anyone has to say. This man is absolutely burning right now.
It's almost like he talks for like a couple hours a day and everything. I wonder who would be crazy enough to do some shit similar to that if just talk for multiple hours at a time, multiple days at a time. Pot me kettle.
Pat saying all this shit. Yeah, you just said fuck him. Fuck him. I die. Pat is talking to you, Nick. Pat is talking to you.
I'm looking him in his goddamn eyes, in his Pittsburgh Yinzer eyes right now. 100%. I like that. If I die, I die.
He's a world champion. I'm a schmuck.
Good, and he's gonna fucking mop you with it.
Yeah. He should kill me, and I don't care. I'm going to war, bitches. I like it.
Patty crack corn, and I don't care. Patty crack corn, and I don't care.
Do I think Pat beats him ultimately? No. But do I think you can get interest Yes. And do I think
I would have fought you if
you are
you said yes that
completely
he beat them.
these are one of those hills that you're going to be like, shit, man, that hill was totally wrong. This is one of them. Pat will not have a 5-minute squash match if they build the match. What is wrong with Pat right now?
Isn't here. I want him here. The huevos. You have marbles.
He's a man. And as a man, you embarrass me, and I don't give a fuck who you are. I'm fighting you. Oh, I already discussed this.
So when do we fight? At sundown?
Lifting the suspension. Okay.
Oh.
Again, but have a basis on your dislike. I think he's fine. Pat has too much sugar.
No, he's just on that, Tony Khan pack.
He just cut a fucking promo that people would kill to get other athletes in this business to cut. He murdered that promo.
He is a 100% a talented talker, and I get it. He can do a moonsault here and there. You can have a passable match on NXT with Adam Cole.
Backlash.
No fucking way.
Backlash. Let's go.
Backlash. Pat McAfee versus Gunther. Oh. I need to stop saying things because they keep happening.
That's it. It's in. And again, I would be shocked if it's anything but. Again, he's going to have to do a lot of stick and move. But that promo told me everything I need to know about this match coming up. Gunther versus Pat, Backlash, it's official.
He's going to try and put up a fight, and he'll run for a minute, and the second he gets caught, you're fucked.
Yeah.
The second Gunther gets a hold of him.
Okay.
I
don't have to argue.
I just caught the bejesus out of you. I cave your chest in.
Yeah, it won't be the case, but they're going to set this one up, and it's going to be fun. A hell of a Pat McAfee promo setting this up as we are actually selling Randy Orton, John Cena, 25 years in the making, going all the way back to 2007. I like it. Patrick committed suicide. I love it.
Yeah, I can't wait for like the hour-long special of the history. Hello, my friend, we'll meet again. Right. Been a while, where shall we begin? What fucking Avengers Tower table are all of these people talking at? Like Booker T out there, like he's meeting with Nick Fury.
Right? I don't know what this means, but it's for you.
Nick, remember what Ventura said about Uncle Elmer when he kissed his wife mid-wedding in wrestling ring? No? Huh?
I can imagine Adam Pearce's reaction to what Nice Aldis thinking. Nick Aldis, he said he talked to him, so we'll see. Gunther wins. Goldberg returns. Could be.
Boo. Like that's boo on boo.
Yeah. Theater. Pat is going to get absolutely fucking demolished from one side of the ring to the other. Gunther is going to make this man hurt.
So you think it's one of those of like he eats a chop. You ain't gonna keep me down. He's Mrs. Father out there. Hands up. If you'll just keep chopping me down, I'll keep getting back up.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a battle. He's going to find his moments. He's probably going to come out hot, get smacked around. Gunther going to keep him down. The fans are going to start cheering. And then ultimately, again, I do not expect Pat, unless there's some weird shit, like something we don't see coming. Pat not taking a win, but there's no way they're just going to let Pat get steamrolled, especially with that promo. That's not worthy of a toss out. As we got Jay and Sammy.
Pat McAfee, the Randy Marsh of WWE. I didn't hear no bell.
Yeah, Pat training with Rip. Again, he's a Rip Rogers guy. He's been there before, Scott. I know that. You know that. The smartest of smarts know that. But again, it just lends to the fact that he'll be able to get in that ring and work. And he'll be able to work from under. And I think it's going to be fun.
That's just funny because I know another Rip Rogers guy, but John C. Yes, Gunther versus Pat McAfee. Call it Gunther loses. No, you don't.
Oh,
An
John.
amazing match with Pat
I'm not
and
willing
take
to
some nice long vacation afterward.
Yeah, that's not a hill I'm willing to go with. I can't see Pat beating Gunther.
Yo!
Oh, he's out! Oh! Nick not liking anything happening on the show. Logan getting a
You
push.
thought I was grumpy last night. Just wait until tonight.
Not getting anything his way tonight. Like,
No,
water.
understand. Fuck you.
Got knocked the fuck out. Logan,
Why
landed
can't you do that in an actual fight, Logan?
That's it. Well, I mean,
Because
again,
they know you're expecting them to punch you instead of they don't expect you to punch them.
oh, payback is a bitch.
What?
Yeah. All it takes is one lucky shot. And again, you want to talk about heat? No, it will be amazing just from a watching the internet standpoint is if Logan Paul was to beat Jey Uso. All the people that hated Jey Uso for 4 months would band together to hate Logan Paul. That's how we get him back. And they'll want Jey Uso to win again.
I was going to say, do you like doing the stream with me and everything? Like, did I do something? You don't want to work with me anymore? Like, you want Logan Paul out here as your world champion?
Logan Paul, I mean, it was part of my bold predictions that Logan Paul will be a world champion because of what he brings to the table.
Yeah, and I hope you were right with that. Like the Mayans were picking the end of the world of just way the fuck off with it.
I mean, I feel like I was kind of spot on with Gunther and Pat so far. I just think that's, I mean, again,
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
I just think there's a world where, again, he would be such a hated champion.
I don't want to live on that world.
Backlash shaping up nicely. So we got Pat Gunther, Becky Bird Lady, John Cena, Randy Orton. Has anything else been announced? I think we might get the Viking Raiders New Day again. I'm not sure.
I can quadruple triple check here with Backlash, or at least according to Wikipedia.
Pat could win. Barrett help him. That'd be interesting, Larry. Again, I don't see a world where Pat beats Gunther because of Gunther's status in the company. And again, losing to a commentator would not be great unless there's a hokey thing.
Yeah, so far, according to Wikipedia, it's just the John Cena, Randy, Lyra, Becky, and Gunther Pat.
Okay, so that's okay. Good start. Good start.
Right? Well, that's already pretty sizable for coming out of a WrestleMania. Of normally Backlash historically for a while was like just the lid off of like, here's just the runoff from WrestleMania of here's some things that will just close up here now as we start to go into the next set.
Damien's with you.
Yeah, exactly. I would be visibly ill.
EO's going to be on NXT apparently.
I got Cardi B for SummerSlam in New Jersey.
Yeah, the hosting 2 nights.
JV, you better be at SummerSlam, and we better see pictures of you with there.
Right. Better than fucking Sexy Red. Send Jay to a local medical facility. Yeah, he got his job placed in the corner. Not good. Jay versus Logan, probably. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna get Jay versus Logan Paul. I think if I was Triple H, and we've seen so many people dislike Jey Uso getting the shot that he got and winning, that Logan Paul's the perfect competitor because it forces people to like Jay. And we saw it tonight. Big cheers for Jay, big boos for Logan. He is the perfect guy to go against him. Beat him? I don't know. But the perfect guy to go against him is Rusev. Fight Totis next week.
Yeah, Rusev Mashka, Rusev Petra. And that, I think, makes sense of after the whole tag match interruption, and that's your Hoss match versus Hoss.
Right.
And Penta versus JD, which should be fantastic.
Should be outstanding.
But yeah, I think the Jey Uso hate was just going into WrestleMania, and like now that we're on the other side of that, I feel like that's dissipated quite a bit.
I hope so. And I mean, again, like I said, I think when you want a guy to be a super baby face, you go find a super heel. And that's the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, as we got Seth again. Oh. Oh, so is this how we're ending the show?
I think so. There's nothing else announced. They only had
We
one
got-
match announced for the night.
Yeah, we got what? 4 matches?
We did have 4 matches.
We got a match every 45 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much.
So we're gonna get, I guess, Sammy's answer here.
Here's another match that should be announced for Backlash: Seth and Braun versus CM Punk and Roman. I thought maybe Christian, but Sammy's now in this circle, so we'll see how this plays. I don't know.
Braun versus Sammy is probably the match they announced. Actually, at this point, I would feel
Seth versus Punk.
No, I don't think you do it there. Like I said, if I think everything we've seen from even Heyman patting Braun as he's leaving the locker room, and probably what we're going to see tonight, I think we set up like a Sammy Braun match, and that's in a Backlash. Like we're going to see a lot of this, like its first chapter, pay off at SummerSlam. So we got some time.
This one makes me laugh. This one's for you.
If Pat McAfee could beat Adam Cole, then he should have no problem against Gunther.
3 matches tonight, not 4.
Oh, even worse. But yeah, no, of Adam Cole, I mean, Adam Cole fits very much a bit of, respectfully, the AEW roster's issue of it looks like anyone that has any sort of stature or has ever played a sport ever, I can at least hold my shit against you. You may, like, you're not going to destroy me. You look at half these people here. They would destroy me.
Right. Basically a talk show. I know people online talk about this all the time. I don't give a fuck. If I'm entertained for 3 hours, 2.5 hours, I don't give a fuck. I tune in to be entertained. And again, they only had 3 matches. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. So a company gives me 7 mediocre matches and I'm supposed to like it more? Nah, I don't give a fuck.
Am I mad when The Walking Dead isn't nothing but killing zombies?
Right.
Am I mad when Walter White isn't only out there selling his blue meth and everything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the perfect one. Like, you don't watch 2 hours straight of things blowing up in a movie. There are downtimes, right?
I mean, if you're watching a Michael Bay movie, it might be a different discussion.
Yeah, there's exceptions. There are some movies that go fucking buck wild, right? This isn't John Wick here. But even that has some downtime. Again, if every episode is all talking, I will definitely open that conversation up that you're boring us. You need to get back to the wrestling. But again, this show, we get the Raw after WrestleMania. The focus is kind of on WrestleMania-ish stuff. We had the big turn. This is like the reset show. And as you can see, everything they're doing right now is building towards Backlash. So
I guess it's a bit of a different discussion halfway at the point because it is a sport and everything, but it is also a weekly television show and everything. And I'm pretty sure I remember a whole really big episode that a lot of people love from like The Walking Dead, to where it's just Rick at the bottom of a prison, like talking to his dead wife on a phone who isn't fucking there and everything. So it's one of those of like, all right, so if you can cut some of that shit, if we can have episodes where we have character work, and then we have other moments to where it's holy shit, action, chaos, boom, bang, catastrophe. You got to have a balance.
Yeah, again, if every week was 3 matches, we'd have a big issue. I agree with that. But again, you can't be full throttle all the fucking time. And I don't, as long as I'm entertained. If it was boring promos and boring angles, dude, tonight flew by. We had a lot of, I don't want to speak on your behalf, but we had a lot to talk about, a lot of fun, a lot of holy shit moments without the wrestling. And then when they turn the wrestling back on, boom, here we go.
Yes, we missed a lot of comments. We even had people saying, call the goddamn match. Like, no, yes, there's a lot of going on here. You can tell how engaging the wrestling is, respectfully, by how much me and KJ at times will tag.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'd rather story progress than matches with no stakes. Exactly. And again, if people think back to the good old days, like the studio wrestling shows were built on so much of just the promos and the angles and the conversations, because in the old days, you didn't get the 2 guys or the 3 or whoever it was in the payoff till the big match. You had to pay money to see the payoff. And that's what this is.
Right. As even Seth's now out here of saying pretty much if you stay on Raw, you will become a target.
Yeah.
Donuts for the Glazers. Can I have a Krispy Kreme then?
Right.
I think trying to say, my guy.
Krispy Kreme's lovely. We'll throw it in the microwave for a second. Makes it beautiful.
No. You're not a Timmy's guy?
Oh, absolutely. Here, I mean, it's Krispy Kremes are few and far between here, but they're delicious when you find them.
You can't throw a rock without hitting a Dunkin' Donuts by me.
That's Tim's here. Like, there's literally they're like Starbucks is kind of bad, but Tim's is like every fucking where. Go.
No, I was just gonna say really quick. What I love is that there's actually one of the gas stations by my parents' place when I go and visit them is actually a Tim Hortons and an AEW.
Right.
Which is a fucking super rare combination. But anyways, yes. Sorry, Jamie talking.
Our kids are very close. They play together. We're good friends.
Yeah, didn't Becky not say nothing about the fact that she just had her daughter right next to Lyra and then just like, I'm gonna go beat this girl's ass.
Wait here, kid.
Yeah.
Where's Paul? Better than mid wrestling. And again, yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna let it go. Sometimes on television shows there's dialogue. I know it's when we actually have to use our brains and actually dial in and pay attention. I know it's a little hard for some out there. They just need like things on fire and tables breaking and people being stabbed with stupid shit. That's the only way they can be entertained. Like, give them a bouncing ball and put them in an empty room. They'll be thrilled. But when there's actual intellectual things going on, I get it. I know it's tough.
I want to counter for how many times you insult the audience's intelligence.
Did you say you? I don't think I ever did you.
No, you insult the audience's intelligence.
I'm not going at you, bro.
No, I'm not saying me. Yeah, you would just do it. You're not gonna fucking form this whole simile and go around. You just go at me.
What else can we say? I mean, again, if we're gonna, you're glazing. Well, maybe we just get it, and you don't.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I hear Tim Horton's story is more interesting than Sammy Bro. Oh, MTV.
Leave Sammy alone.
Fans' comments in the chat are repetitive.
It's allowed. You got. I know you got a little worried earlier. People are allowed to have difference of opinion. That's okay.
We can agree. The barbershop. Christ, that's what we are. We're the goddamn barbershop. Except I feel like Cube might have that trademark. I will not be threatened.
Let's go, Sammy. Come on, MDB.
He is the fucking conscience. He is the goddamn line of demarcation when it comes to pro wrestling. I feel like there is no purer good than Sami Zayn.
Yeah. I have to correct you, ye God. They are 4 lifers, and they are here to stay. They might not have the same opinion as you. That doesn't mean there are anywhere they belong anywhere else. They are with us. So don't get it twisted. Again, they are allowed to have a difference of opinion.
Right. The only thing we twisted.
Watch this one. Oh, is there a sign? Oh, sign me up for that. Could be a thing.
Well, huh?
Oh, they look. All right. You said no. Release the Kraken.
And that's literally exactly my guy. Fucking exactly. That's 100% what it is. All right, you didn't. He's C. Montgomery Burns. Yep. Well, I see, Homer. I have to release the hounds.
As when someone said, no, Paul. Yeah, Paul's with the kid.
But that's again, Paul is behind Braun. So when this all falls out and everything, and I'm in commercial, god damn it. But when Seth and Braun have their falling out, that becomes a feud. Braun's now with Heyman for the next 10 fucking years.
Right. Here comes Braun.
Yeah, I have literally a Minute Maid.
I like that. So well done. Like, so well done. He gave such a strong promo, and the minute it was official, you do not threaten me. I will not accept your bullshit. Lights out. And that siren even helps of like, like an air raid siren, like, oh shit, run!
Oh yeah, no, that's 100% of that. Fully with what you said there. Granted, I agree with RM. I fucking hate that they went to a commercial with this.
I don't
but
get
it
that
is so
thought.
perfect of I will not be threatened, and Seth just kind of like has that look of I wish you didn't say that. And then again, the air raid, like you now done fucked up of now I have to, like you said, release the Kraken, release the dog, release the hounds of now you have the monster that has to be unleashed. And that's the perfect spot to slot Braun Breaker into this of you're the enforcer, you're the machine, you are the one of, all right, well, I tried to play nice and now you don't, so now you've got to deal with my dog.
And right now Braun is in wrestling gear, so he came to fight. Seth is out talking to Cole and Pat, and Sammy is taking his shirt off to get ready for a fight.
He's about to get smashed.
Seek and destroy.
Well, that's the wrong song. But yeah, no, that's how so was Sting and everything.
Break and destroy. It's not the same thing. My bad.
Yeah.
Sammy wrestling in street clothes. Yeah, so technically this is the main event. I mean,
it makes sense. And again, we've seen this tease. This has been a nice interweaving story throughout tonight.
Yeah. See, Mr. Yeet God, me and AB didn't really agree on the amount of wrestling, but we agree on this. This is how this beautiful relationship works. It's a healthy relationship.
Come together right now.
And he's gonna get over with me for complimenting Sammy. I'm gonna glaze Sammy. I don't care if he's a donut or not.
And on your knees and smile like a donut,
right? Sammy's about to get the. Oh, he's in trouble. Sammy's in trouble. So did they write him back off? They just wrote him back in, unless there's backup.
But still, that is such a good, even just past Sammy and all of this. That's such a good. If that's going to be a continuous thing, of I offer you a favor, you don't want to take it, air raid sound and everything. And now you've got to unleash Braun of he becomes the beast incarnate. He becomes almost to an extent that Brock Vigil type of thing of he just shows up, wrecks them and leaves. Smash them, stack them, leave. Eat, sleep, beat, repeat.
Yeah, absolutely. But we're off and running, folks. We got a main event. I guess I'll put this up in a poll. But yeah, get in your chat. Let us know how you feel about this one as an impromptu main event between Sammy and Braun Breaker.
Yeah. If Sammy wins this, it kind of neuters Braun's whole shit right out the gate, though.
Yeah. Again, it would all depend on how we get there, but I would agree. Unlikely. Pause. Or pardon me.
Yeah. No, you're fine. What was Sammy going with that? Have anyone ever hit a standing frog splash before?
I like those moments of like, what were you trying to do? If he didn't fuck you up,
if you were successful, what were you going to hit?
Right? Release the breaker. I like it. Braun Breaker for the win. Release the Bruin. Release the Steiner. They should change his name. They should change his name. Now that he's with Paul, Paul's like, this breaker shit's dumb. He's a Steiner.
Yeah, honestly, but has Braun Breaker gotten over the same way how when we were all upset because Walter went to Gunther?
Say that again?
Has the Braun Breaker thing gotten over the same way of how when Walter went to Gunther, and now you almost forget to ever say Walter because it's Gunther?
Yeah, I think it's a little different with Braun because he came in as Braun, and I think there's a collection of the WWE universe that doesn't know he's Rex Steiner. They know he's related.
If you don't, then you're fucking deaf, dumb, or blind, or all of the above.
And people that just tune in on Mondays, watch the show, and go to bed don't know.
I mean, fair enough. You'd have to really like exclude yourself in a bubble to not know that. But I get it, I get you. That does exist.
Every grave CM Punk and the OTC show up. Yeah, don't rule that out. I mean, we haven't seen Punk tonight. I don't expect Roman tonight, but I don't know. I just watch for Punk.
Yeah, well, and especially because normally now is when we'd be wrapping this up and everything. And now again, we're back 2 weeks in a row. We're using that full, could go 3 hours, could go more. We don't know when we end here.
Yeah, I don't want to contradict you, but we are still a little bit early within the kind of confines of the time frame.
Oh, well,
sorry.
God damn it. You're going to split hairs over 10 minutes?
I'm not splitting hairs. It's just inaccurate what you said. I don't know what to do. It's just not accurate. We're not there yet. We're not going long. I don't.
Well, jumping long is Braun Breaker just smashing Sami Zayn over the announce desk.
Seth is underrated and underused as F. And when it comes to being a villain, because he did see the smile when Breaker's theme song came out. Oh, Seth is so good. I mean, again, Seth does what Seth does. And he goes.
Braun just hit all of that, and Seth doesn't bat an eye, doesn't move a muscle, doesn't smile, doesn't nothing.
Right. RVD standing frog splash. Yeah, it doesn't work. Paul just smiling at Seth. Seth staring away like I don't even need to look at this, like a benevolent king.
Right. I missed the whole comment, but I'll find it. It's just splitting hairs is actually hilarious because, bald. I
had to do some searching.
Why he hates
that is crazy. Seth's title. Sammy wants the title. Uso is holding. How are they going to tell that story? Again, where there's a will, there's a way, and when there's two baby faces, a heel change can happen. But not right now.
Oh, I don't think Sammy's going at all towards his title.
Not yet. Heyman can be Flair, Roll, Seth, Hunter, Breaker, Batista, Logan, Randy. Yeah, I'd still want to see someone else in there.
Well, I mentioned that before. We talked about it. Like that's where you get your Jeff Cobb. If you get Heyman, Flair, Seth, Hunter, you have Randy, Breaker because of the lineage and all of that, and then you bring in Jeff Cobb. He's just walk for miles. He's just the beast out there.
Oh, sorry, Nick, but Braun continues to lay a beating on Sammy. 69% of the chat going for Braun, 19% going for Sammy, 11% think nobody.
Fair enough. This fucking commercial is making me hungry as hell. I just got a Shakaroni Papa John's commercial. I'll stick with Braun.
Oh, you were on commercial for that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I was. No, I just envisioned a Shakaroni Papa John's pizza commercial in my mind. I'm always on commercial.
I didn't realize it had gone back into commercial. So you get a commercial on the entrance and then a commercial in the middle of the match. I'm
coming back right now from commercial. Sami Zayn walloping the back of Braun Breaker on the top rope.
Oh, sunset bomb.
Right. 1, 2. And I know it's interesting. You have Seth there. You have Heyman, both unwavering. Like, it's so weird to figure out what's going on with Seth with all of this.
Right. Again, it's just, yeah. The approach, the attitude, sitting on the commentary table where both, guys are trying to see the action.
Right.
I mean, forcing them to look at their tablets.
Why do we have the Fireflies out here too?
Right. So we're gonna get Braun, and yeah, the Fireflies are interesting.
Oh, tornado DDT. 1, 2. All due respect to Canadians, I guess. What is it? Like part of a benefit to Sami Zayn's anatomy of like when he's out there wrestling shirtless, like you're gonna see every bruise, cut, laceration, fucking iteration, anything that this man takes as a bump. Like he's gonna wilt like a fucking prune.
Right.
As he's going up again. Yeah, OP. It's got the fans out here with the Fireflies for some reason. Sami wins the Rumble and Saudi. He defeats Drew or Seth. Frankensteiner. I respectfully don't ever see Sami winning a title in Saudi for goddamn sure. Yeah.
Could be, Vance. They're in tough.
Just fucking locked in on this spear.
Miss. Kick to the face.
Right.
Explode out.
The turnbuckles. I still like halfway almost want to do like a tier list of like who has the best spear, because at this point Braun's up there.
Oh, for sure.
Look at the devil and they show a spear. Drink it in, man.
But he's waiting.
Yeah, that's what I said. That was awkward. That was like, just soak it in, man.
It's slow him down, right?
Oh. The slingshot spear. Oh. Jesus. He literally fits. If I hit him high, and you hit him low. He just does it both at the same time.
Is Seth gonna like change your mind?
Doesn't have to be this way.
Perfect.
It doesn't have to be this way. Take the deal. Heyman's got set up for you. You go to SmackDown and you face the winner of this title match.
Right? Go to hell. I mean, if you're not yelling at the TV for this man to take the deal, you got look like it's just fucking rude.
I said it earlier. He's going to be the martyr. If I was Seth, the only thing is, if I was Seth, when Sami says, go to hell, Seth should have said, "I'll send you there," and then this is when Braun just destroys the shit out of him.
So Sami rolls out. The ref goes to don't you dare. Interesting.
Seth Rollins really out here literally looking like 3 children stacked up on top of each other.
No, there's an adult coming here. There's something. Look, Paul's saying like, look.
Well, Paul's even trying to say this is enough because this is the OG bloodline. I still love Sami. This is enough. You've proven your point.
Come on.
As now Braun's getting outside of the ring, so now he's about to get just decleated.
Yeah.
He's winding it up.
Thank God the doctors are holding him up for a 4th one. No one just like,
just pin him out here like this and fucking stuck him to the post.
I mean, it's pretty fucking shitty. Everybody just scatters. Yeah.
Fucking scarecrow. And Heyman even backing off. Jamie Noble.
It's good shit, man. This is good shit. I know you're loving it.
Oh, 100%. We said it at the beginning when we had the confrontation with him of you are going to be the sacrificial lamb. You now become the example. You are the martyr. You now are why Jey Uso might cross paths with Seth because look at what you did to my friend.
Look, the ref, leave this man alone.
Stop, he's already dead.
Nick, I don't know what Larry and you have going on today, but
I don't know. Larry, if you like me, you can just let me know. You don't need to send all these subliminal messages.
Sammy should have taken the deal, says Johnny. I mean, the
crowd's chanting one more time. Fuck you, Sammy. They don't love you. One more time. Yeah. One more time. John Cena's right. They don't give a shit. They just want to see Sammy impaled one more time.
Stomp. Here comes the stomp. He's on his knees. Tonight is your
first lesson. The disciple. Buddy Murphy somewhere saying it should have been me. It should have been me.
What's up, Mr. Cooper?
Shut up, Mr. Cooper.
Bloodthirsty fans.
Stop.
There it is. There it is. I thought he was going to do that outside the ring. He did it in the ring.
That's a fucking dope line, though, from Pat to end that right as they go out there of consequences come from every choice that is made.
100%.
That's oh.
As again, another night you go off the air with Seth, Paul, and Braun looking epic. And it becomes, we need a hero. And you make people wait for that hero, whoever it might be.
Yeah, but that's, again, you have established them as we decide things. We are the dominating force. We are the end-all, be-all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and again, ladies and gentlemen, Raw has gone off the air. We will take your ratings out of 10 as we do for every single show. We are back at it tomorrow for NXT. Do not forget that. A crazy night. Again, not a lot of wrestling. I know people are going to hang their hands on that a little bit. I agree. Could have probably got some, but we did get a really good main event. As far as the match was pretty good. The storytelling was pretty good. Well, the storytelling is off the charts, I think. But ultimately, Seth, Paul, Braun, they look epic. And this whole game of patience. They didn't add a new member tonight. Nobody, no Punk, no Roman. They have put the world on notice. And like you just said, you join us or you get run over by us.
You are either with us or you're against us. And that's, I even, just in this whole story, which is surprising because this wasn't advertised at all. And it just happened throughout the show, which I think is a benefit of when they don't advertise stuff. But you went from explaining the hypocrisy of Seth and everything, which added a layer to his turn, to then you get into Heyman and Seth and everybody. Sammy, just take the deal. Please go to SmackDown. We don't want to hurt you.
Yeah.
If you stay here, you will get hurt. You will be in the crossfire. Just please take this. I love you. We're OG, triple OG bloodline. Go over there. But he stays, and I'll fight, and I'll die on my shield, and gets decimated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, again, I think it's Sammy. I think unless you dig Sammy right in the other direction, he had no choice but to do it this way. The idea that he gets hit with those spears to the point where the ref is laying on him, being like, "Stop it, stop it." Like, to me, it just sells us on the monster that is Braun. I mean, again, release the Kraken. And I think we're going to get a lot of this. And I think ultimately, I'm very curious. They're going to make us beg for a hero. And right now, there is no hero in sight. We've cleared the path at the moment. We'll see where this goes. But, yeah, Raw goes off the air. And that is the show. Larry giving it an 8.25 out of 10. The match made tonight go from 6 out of 10 to an 8 out of 10. I admit, like, if it just went off the air on that promo, Nick, might have been a little lower. That match and the whole scenario really gives it a strong. I mean, I think I'm a solid 8. I see a lot of people at a solid 8. I don't know how you feel about this one, but I thought tonight was a hell of a good show.
Oh yeah, I'm an 8. I almost halfway want to go an 8.5 just on the engagement and the arguments that it caused between you and I, between us in the chat and everything. And even again, I think the release the breaker moment was great. The whole everything with Logan Paul and Jey Uso, and now you've got that. And I think the Sammy getting taken out and showing that interaction between him and Jey right before that is how you get that intersection of Seth starts to go for the world title. So this is a lot of really interconnecting parts of, I think this is, I said this when we came off of WrestleMania and we started with the Raw after Mania. This is the new season going to WrestleMania 42, and for season 42, episode 2, I think it's an 8 to at minimum to 8.5.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. I liked so much of this show, and I know I gotta definitely a little defensive in the sense of like somehow the way this show was built and formatted wasn't a quality or an entertaining show. And ultimately, yeah, I mean, for the people that didn't watch this show and they just look at stat numbers, they might think, oh, that wasn't very much wrestling tonight. But it ends up being quality over quantity. And what we got outside of the wrestling delivers in a big way. 8 out of 10 as well from MDB. Good Raw tonight. Raw was an A+, 8.25. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to halfway cut you off with that, but it's funny when you put it that way, because it's absolutely like, this is a thing that needs to be said that a lot of people won't say, is even with any sport, if it's a lot cooler if you watch the fucking game than you read the stat sheets. 100%. If I watch Monday Night Raw, I'm sure it's a lot fucking cooler than if I read a recap and I know I just check the stat sheets and check the box scores. Same thing with any hockey game, any football game. If it's a lot more entertaining if I watch it versus I check the stat sheets.
Oh yeah, I mean, like you look up a hockey score and it's 4-0. You're like, oh, my team played like shit. Little did you know it was a 1-0 game. They got a bad bounce and it was the second goal.
Empty netters.
A couple empty netters. You're like, oh, that wasn't so bad. I guess we battled, but on paper, looks like shit.
Right.
Give it a 9. Favorite part of the show was Seth Rollins dressing up like Samurai Jack. Becky Lynch and Lyra started the Kentucky Derby, and Pat McAfee called out Gunther. A lot of emotion tonight. Becky was emotional. Lyra was emotional. Pat was emotional. Seth, Sammy, Paul, like a lot of emotion tonight.
Well, tonight we talked about it. Tonight was not. If you're looking for a 5-star match, respectfully, it ain't here. Don't worry. Don't move along. If that's all you're focused on, it ain't here. Move on to the next house. But this was a lot of story continuity, a lot of story progression. This was a lot of explanation, a lot of disposition. We talked about it and brought it up this is not every episode of Breaking Bad is Walter being fucking Heisenberg and Jesse science bitch. You're going to have some moments that are actually just kind of continuity into the next episode.
Yeah. Again, there has to be ebbs and flows. There's times for a car chase and a shoot up, and we got to blow up a building and we got to kill the bad guy. And there's sometimes where you're sad, depressed, and dealing with emotional family issues. There's two sides to that story. I love this. The security held him there. If you're going to hold him up, someone should at least have just get in the way. I get it. We're afraid of Braun, but you just let the man go. You assisted.
Crucify this man. Just send him out there on a fucking tee.
Right? You were guilty. You helped your accomplice. Orange Cassidy would have saved Raw. Facts. Great episode. Raw tonight was an 8 out of 10. 7 out of 10. And I will say this. Don't sleep on the fact that Stephanie Vaquer and Ivy Nile had a banger that the crowds were chanting, this is awesome for. Rhea Ripley, her match was okay, but Julia and Roxy teaming up on the main roster to beat up Rhea is kind of fun. So there was some stuff within the matches that weren't terrible.
Yeah, and we also kind of halfway, as Ken Emnar saying, pretty solid Raw. We had some matches added to Backlash, and we have some matches that we expect are going to be added to Backlash that weren't officially added to Backlash.
Right.
So we're very much setting up the trajectory here.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We got to give us some credit where it's due. 7 out of 10. Just a tad more talking, less wrestling. Facts. Again, we understand that. 8
A
out of
little
10.
less conversation, a little more action.
Right. The final stretch of about 25 minutes was a different brand of television between Sammy promo and the ending of the angle. They were operating on another wavelength for a little bit there. And again, you almost want those upper echelon guys to do that, right? Like, business is picking up for a reason. Good old JR.
Right.
6.5. Fair enough. I think that's low. 7.75 out of 10 blunts. Now we're getting blunt ratings. I like it. Let's go. Fans online just want to hate on WWE and Triple H. Well, and again, I think there are a certain pocket of fans that if you don't break a table, if you don't have 45 topes and a brawl in the crowd, it's not a good wrestling show. And that's fine. Different strokes.
Well, no, respectfully, no disrespect to what you said, but I fully think it's very much more of you could have ended that with the last 4 words cut off of wrestling fans online just want to hate.
Yep.
Point blank period. That's what it is.
Right. It was a 7, and then the ending made it an 8.5. I'm kind of in that with you, Ryan. I think I was like 7.5. It could have used a bit more, but the way they ended that show definitely gets some Brucey bonus.
Yeah, it was a little, so it was a 7-layer dip, and they just added an extra layer, so now it's an 8-layer dip.
Layers are important.
Layers are out there like onions and ogres.
Right. It's 8 out of 10. I could see Punk, Sammy, and Roman against Seth, Braun, and a new member. True. I mean, again, we'll see where this goes. I like the fact that will be the discussion for the next little while is who, what, when, where. And that's what we're all going to be curious about. Where is this going? Who will be involved? And how do we get there? And I like it. I like it a lot.
I haven't unliked a minute of it. So that's the thing of I'm hanging on every word, every muscle twitch, every facial action from Seth Rollins here.
Absolutely. There you go. Use those hashtags on all your social posts, folks. 8 out of 10. 6 from Warrior Society. Again, I think that's too low. But that's allowed. Good night, guys. Well, God bless. Stay safe, Johnny. Thank you for being here. We are much better off after Mania. I mean, wow. Yeah, 2 for 2. 2 for 2, Nick. I think you said that.
Well, and I've seen people and I've talked to people online and even in the Discord server about all of this of like, can we stop gangbanging about being mad about Dwayne not showing up at fucking Mania and everything? Good. I'm just glad we're done with Dwayne. So we're on to good shit. We're on to Carolina. We're on to fucking Houston here. We're on to Dallas. We're on to the next one.
Yeah. I mean, again, I just think that I don't care and we can't change it. Stop stressing about what we can't change. Let's cheer for what's in front of us and boo what's in front of us. That's all we can do. I don't give a fuck what The Rock does. Go make Tooth Fairy 3. I don't give a fuck.
Go be a Rolling Stone for all I give a shit.
But 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 6.5 show. Solid. My one complaint is that the show, this and that, last show, were probably both primarily angle promo driven. I like the shows going forward. And I get that. I understand. I would admit, like, and again, if we didn't get a Seth Braun match at the end, I would have been a little lower. But that match and the way it delivered and what the message it was, I just loved it. Thank you so much, ABJ. 7.8 from Chris twice. 7.8 from Bash 8. KJ, something in the air.
There's
about to be.
Whoa. Put in rotation, my guy.
Right. Raw on Netflix without commercials makes Raw better. Kid MR. Not sure if that's AI Triple H or AI Ricochet.
Both?
Maybe.
Both?
But yeah, no, thank you. It does. And I know you feel the pain, especially some of those. I will criticize the WWE. They were shitty. Like, why do you put commercials there?
Oh, well, yeah, towards the end, I'm like, Braun break, like, you hear, and then commercial break. It's like, what are you doing? You're releasing the monster out here.
Yeah, to me, there's moments like that. You got to ride that vibe. You got to ride that excitement. Like, holy shit, what's going to happen? Maybe once they get into, oh shit, they're going to have a match, throw in a commercial. But to do one during the entrance and to do one 4 minutes later during the match, it's a little greedy, guys. Knock it off.
A little bit.
How many fucking ring sponsors you need before you stop commercialing us to death? Like, fuck. Got that one. Raw is aesthetically pleasing product wise. Great infrastructure for feuds to be plugged in. 100%. Good night, guys. Good night. Worst Raw yet on it. I felt like an infomercial. Now that, you're losing me.
Johnson. No,
I was trying to be nice.
Not worst Raw. Netflix, not worst Raw of 25. Not even. I almost. Well, we're only still early in April. I was about to say almost not even worst Raw this fucking month. Like, what are you on?
Top 10 Raws of the year. In the top 10. It might be 9 or 10, but whatever. AB's like, KJ's being nice. I got to trigger him real quick. I'll be back.
Well, strong contention though, because we're 2 months away, or a little bit over a month away, actually, from the midlife crisis, and everything. So this might be, could Raw end up being best weekly show at this point, because it's coming in hot.
Right. Tony, I will be there Wednesday. As folks, we are going to shut her down. We appreciate all the love. And again, we will be here on Wednesday. But before we get to Wednesday, tomorrow night, Tuesday, NXT Stack Night. Lots to talk about. 2 title matches. Apparently, EO's going to be on NXT tomorrow. So we will see what happens there. And again, NXT has been full of twists and turns. But come to all the shows, all the streams. More pay-per-views, more live streams than anybody else out there, more live wrestling, and we just do it on a different level. We appreciate everyone being a part of this. Check out all our socials, including our Facebook page. Go give our Facebook page some love. And my God, I'm enjoying Raw, Nick.
Why are you going to segue to that? You're enjoying Raw. I don't need to know about that part of your life and everything, my guy. But 100%, our shit is real. Our shit is raw. Our shit is authentic. Apparently, we're raw with it too. But yes, when you're talking about that wrestling, you're going to put that for life with it.
If you're going to enjoy your Nick, enjoy your Raw, folks. Good night. See you on the flip side.